end zone, and that's a touchback. And so we get to see our first look at this high-powered Sdsu offense.
Christian's an amazing quarterback. 85 on 122 for the year. Also lining up at defensive tackle, senior number 51, TJ Wheeler. And the other defensive end, senior number 43,
5 last week, which was a career high. The other part of that 15 touchdowns, only 1 interception.
1 interception and 15 touchdowns have been to 2 receivers.
And those 2 receivers, you're going to hear a lot of their names mentioned. One is a receiver in Jake Winicky. The other, the guy we featured on our open, tight end, Dallas Goedert. Christensen, there's Goddard immediately. And Chase Allen tracks him down quickly, a gain of 3 on first down.
Chase Allen, a guy a week ago who you didn't hear his name very often on tackles, and he's the Salukis' leading tackler. For Southern to be successful today, you're going to have to hear us call Chase Allen's name a lot.
Goddard's such a matchup problem. He's too big for secondary guys, and he's too quick for linebackers. We'll see how Southern matches up with him. Christensen will take the snap. And there's Goddard again. So 2 plays, 2 possessions, 2 Chase Allen tackles. And that's going to be right at the first down marker. It is a first down for the Jacks.
And just a nice safe pass underneath the linebacker, Chase Allen. See it right here. There's Goddard with the catch. Chase Allen right there. 2 for 2 on unassisted tackles. And it looks like, unfortunately or fortunately for Chase Allen, he's going to be Goddard's spot all game.
So Goddard goes to the sidelines, and so the Jacks will go with the 3 wide receiver set. And Christian takes the snap, back to pass, 3 plays, he's going up top. Winicky had a step, but could not catch up with it, just a little bit too strong on that pass. And Southern caught it right there.
For the Salukis, number 31, Craig James with the coverage, and he live and die with that one-on-one coverage.
Incompletion will leave the ball at the Jackrabbit 35, where it'll be 2nd and 10 for South Dakota State.
Christian completing 70% of his passes on the season. Winicky has just been a fantastic receiver in this league the last 2 years, 2-time All-Valley, set the league record with 1,472 yards a year ago. There's Goddard back into the game and back catching passes. He gets ahead of steam and knocked out of bounds just shy of first down. So it'll be 3rd and very short for the Jacks here as we are about a minute 19 into this one. And Southern with a first opportunity here to be able to
give the Jackrabbits a 3rd and 1 from their own 44.
To the 47, and that was a gain of
Isaac Wallace, the ball carrier.
Yards, but
brought down by Jefferson
so the Canes move again, and South Dakota State
gain of 3 on the play. Give the Jackrabbits a 1st and 10 from their own 47.
To make the tackle on a 3rd and 1. That's not a good sign for getting that stop on 3rd and short. Jefferson Villa on the tackle that time.
Christian directing traffic. Isaac Wallace in the backfield with him. Christian overthrows that one. Winicky was well covered. And that will be 2nd down now for the Jacks. And looked like that might have been one of those purposeful misses.
I think so. And you're going to notice when the receiver's not open, he's not going to try to thread the needle there. He just overthrew everybody because Craig James was right there on the man-on-man coverage.
You're talking about a young man that, while he did see some action last year, he's just a sophomore, showing great poise in the pocket this season. Southern gets back, nearly jumped off sides. Christian will, pressure comes up the middle. Christian looking for somebody to dump it off to. He does. To Wallace. Isaac Wallace, ball comes free, but it's out of bounds. And South Dakota State has another first down. The Canes move again. He's got pressure up the middle, but Christian doing a nice job to buy himself some time.
Yeah, he bought himself some time.
Gain of 14 on the play gives South Dakota State a 1st and 10 from the Southern Illinois 39.
It's 2.5 minutes going here. Opening possession. South Dakota State. Christian out in the flat. Goddard's got some territory in front of him. Breaks back in, gets inside the 20, down
Christian's
to the
pass complete to Dallas Goddard.
And Dallas Goddard
brought down by Jefferson Villa.
And it turns into a big game for South Dakota State.
Gain of 22 on the play. Gives South Dakota State a 1st and 10 from the Southern Illinois 17.
South Dakota 25.
Mangarelli's in the backfield with Christian. Goddard will spread out. Bottom of your screen. Christian going up top, has Winicky open again, and for the second time on the drive, pass is overthrown, and each time those would have been touchdowns.
Winicky now 0 for 3 in receptions on the ball game. They tried that out pattern with him too, where James had the coverage.
2nd and 10 for the
Christian has just missed the mark with Winicky. He's been right on with Goddard, and it now brings up a 2nd and 10. They put Goddard all over the field.
And speaking of which, back in the backfield, and he takes the handoff, gets some blocking. The big fella is on the move and into the end zone. Goddard with a 17-yard touchdown run. That's a new wrinkle. And the Jackrabbits march 80 yards in 3 minutes and 18 seconds for a touchdown.
And watch the block by 44 Mangarelli right there. Takes out the Sdsu defender and just paves the way for Dakota to go the final 13 yards into the end zone. But without Mangarelli's block, I wouldn't say that he might not score, but it would have been much more difficult.
Freshman Chase Vinatieri in for the extra point. And he boots it through.
Vinatieri's point after is good, and with 11:42 left in the first quarter of play, South Dakota State 7, Southern Illinois nothing.
South Dakota State will kick off when we come back. You're watching Valley Football on ESPN3. South Dakota State off to a quick start.
Number 2, Aaron Stanton, and number 25,
TJ Davis. On their opening drive, and so Southern will get a chance to respond here. Back deep, TJ Davis, the signing freshman from Florida, along with the senior Aaron Stanton. Of course, Davis, the last game we did, took the opening kickoff back 98 yards against Florida State. We saw that little switcheroo back there. Davis will return this one from the 3.
25, DJ Davis on the kick return.
15 or 16.
The addition contact made by 31, Eric Kleinschmidt.
Well, head out on offense for the first time, and Dallas Goddard with his, what we believe to be first career run.
After a kick return of 17 yards, the ball will be placed at the Sdsu 19-yard line for a 1st and 10, Southern Illinois. In quarterback number 12, Josh Strong.
Jet sweep with a tight end for the touchdown.
Daquan Isom with Southern's first offensive play. He gains out to about the 23 and picked up the 4.
Daquan Isom, the ball carrier.
Goddard had a monstrous day last week. We talked about it in our open against Western. 8 catches, 204 yards, tied a school record with 4 TDs, and already off to a quick start. Fumble, And Southern is able to pounce on it as Davis took the handoff, and he was fortunate to recover that one, and now the Salukis will face 3rd and long.
Number 15, Dallas Brown, reached in with his left hand. You'll see it here. Watch Brown right there, strip it, and fortunately fallen on by the Salukis, and it's 3rd and long.
Josh Strong having a very good season in his first with Southern, and we have...
Looked like everybody was moving on the offensive line, yep.
And the yellow flags, as Danny told you at the start, a problem last week at Northern Iowa, 17 for 150 yards. And so now that backs up the Salukis to 3rd and 12. And not a very auspicious start here for the Maroon and White.
No, and I believe it was 10 in the first half last week, and you would figure second half things would improve, and they really didn't.
Strong looking, plenty of time, fires it. Darrell James dropped it.
And he was short anyway. He would have been only down at the 28-yard line, so it would have been 4th and 1. And in that situation, you've got to run to the first down marker and give yourself that opportunity to get the first down. And now Southern on its first possession is going to have to punt the football away.
And Lane Reason will be back to punt for Southern. Reason struggled last week. He's averaging about 37 yards a kick on the season. This one is away. And it will get a bounce. And Sdsu on the return. It's Marquise Lewis. Finally dragged down close to midfield. And so the Jacks will start with great field position. Already up 7-0. And a chance to get out to a quick lead here on the road.
And a strong defensive stand to begin with for the Jackrabbits, holding the Salukis to just 3 yards on their first offensive series. And now they take over from their own 48-yard line, already leading 7-0.
What's interesting about this South Dakota State squad is they list 34 guys on their offensive depth chart. A lot of places go too deep. They list 34. Only 6 of these guys are seniors.
Ooh.
And here's run. Nice job by Southern to stretch it out. Whitney Simon coming up with the stop there. As Southern holds Sdsu to just a gain of 1 on first down, so it'll be 2nd and 9. That was Adam Anderson on the rush for South Dakota State. And when you look at their stats, they don't run the ball much at all, and very rarely do they do it out of a standard set. And on cue, they do it. Up the middle it goes, as that's Wallace getting good yardage. It's the old announcer's trick. You say something and then they prove you wrong. So.
Yeah, I mean, they've only got, that's their 115th rush of the year. So a little over 26, 27 rushes per game, which when you throw it 35, 40 times a game, that's a heavy dose of pass to run, but that's that offense they are running, and you can't argue with their results.
They're averaging 45 points a game. Very good on 3rd down, 45% clip. Southern very good against on 3rd down, and a great job there by Whitney Simon to break that up, as he made Christian throw it a little higher and behind than he wanted to. And so good job by the Southern's defense as we take another look at the Saluki effort.
Simon just got up there in time, right at the very top of his jump, got his right hand on the football, sets up 4th down, and it appears, again, that Sdsu is going to try to pin the Salukis back inside the 15-yard line.
4th and 3 from Southern's 45. On the punt is Brady Hale. He gets it away. Fair catch is called for and made at the 6. And so Southern with some tough field position there, as Craig James with the fair catch, and the Salukis will have the ball when we come back. South Dakota. SIU with its second possession here, down 7-0 at home to South Dakota State. The Jackrabbits ranked 12th in the country. Josh Strong ranked 12th in the country. Josh Strawn take the snap, quick throw out to Billy Reed. That's good for 5. And Southern could use a positive drive here, at least to get some better field, try to flip this field position, if nothing else.
Yeah, they've got to get a first down or 2 to flip the field. Josh has got to get kind of in his comfort zone with his quick step and throws and see what they can get going here.
And again, the quick out. And it looks like it's going to be enough for a first down. Billy Reed with 2 grabs, 10 yards, and they'll move the chains. And that was important, especially with Southern taking possession at its own 6-yard line.
Yeah, Anthony Washington had coverage over on the sideline. Nothing he could do. Those are very quick out patterns, perfect precision timing by Strawn and Billy Reed.
And here's Connor Iwema the other way for a short gain. As South Dakota State sniffed that out. Iwema picks up 2, and so it'll be 2nd and 8.
It's his 18th catch of the year now. He's now tied with Daquan Isom for the team lead in receptions.
We talked about Christian completing 70% of his passes. Strawn about 67.5. Crafty move there. Daquan Isom up the middle. Big yardage for Southern as Isom gets it out to the 38-yard line. And that moxie in the pocket is what Coach Nick Hill and the staff really like about Josh Strawn.
Watch Josh playing it safe, goes ahead and then sees Daquan wide open, and then it's just all Daquan Isom. That is a pass reception.
Strawn keeps it. Nice sidestep through the middle, and he may have picked up another first down. Looks like they're going to mark him about a half-yard short or so, and so a big gain for Southern on first down and 2nd and very short.
And that's what the play fake does at that time to Daquan. 3 guys went right to Daquan, and Josh said, oh, okay, there's the lane for me, and he took it and got almost to the first down marker.
There's a quick flip out to Isom. He's going to barely get enough for the first down, and the chains will move, and so Southern looks like the Salukis got their feet under him a little bit, and a nice drive here in this second possession.
And as easy as that play looks, it's very difficult because Daquan is running away from the football and trying to catch the ball at the same time and trying to make positive yardage, which he did all 3 of very well.
Matt DeSomer is checked in at quarterback. Certainly a threat with his feet as he keeps it, as he'll get over midfield and into Jackrabbits territory. A nice gain on first down, pickup of 6. And the Salukis are into SDSU territory.
And maybe a touchdown-saving tackle by Micaiah Slade there. If he doesn't get DeSomer, he may take that all the way into the end zone.
DeSomer stays in. He's got Aaron Stanton in the backfield with him. DeSomer keeps it, tries to bounce it outside, does, needs a block. Jimmy Jones gave it to him. How about Jimmy Jones helping back on the block there, and that enabled DeSomer to pick up a couple of more yards, and we have a Jackrabbit injured at midfield, and that looks like it is Dallas Brown writhing in pain.
Yep, didn't see it happen because it was away from the play, but what a neat block on the outside. It was Slade again who got hit that time. He made the tackle on the previous play. That time Slade got taken out of the play, and we're going to try to see here to see what happens, and
looks like maybe his own guy rolled up on
maybe his own
ankle.
guy rolled on him.
And there you see Jones with the block. And otherwise, that was going to be a loss of maybe 2 or 3 yards. Instead, it's a gain of 2 or 3 yards. And so Southern will face 3rd and short here. But right now, all the focus there on the middle of the field as Dallas Brown being treated by the training staff.
This drive started way back at the 7-yard line. So Southern already with about 50 yards of offense on this particular drive, and we talked about turning the field position. They've done that successfully. If they don't make it here, you kind of wonder if Nick Hill goes for the first down because they need less than 2 yards, or do you play field position and try to do what South Dakota State did to the Salukis and try to pin them back inside the 10.
And it looks like they may be calling for the cart, and that's never a good sign there. And we're going to step aside here while the staff continues to treat Dallas Brown. The Salukis trail it 7-0 here from Carbondale. Back in just a few minutes.
Tonight's game is sponsored by...
That's SDSU senior Dallas Brown being carted off. He was injured at midfield on the last play before the break there. Back to action is DeSomer on 3rd and short. The break there. Back to action is DeSomer on 3rd and short. Will pick up a first thought.
Brown had Brown had 4.5 tackles for loss on the season. He had a sack. He had an sack. He had an interception, a couple of pass break. Guy who's been in the offensive backfield all year long from his linebacker position.
So Josh Strong back in the lineup, tosses it out to Israel Lamb. Breaks to tackle, and he gets brought down. Eventually, ball comes loose, but the whistle had already blown, and so it'll be Saluki ball down at the 33. So a pickup of about 7. So Southern with a very nice job on this drive of getting good at plays.
This was close to breaking that one as well. South Dakota State's done. And this was close to breaking that one as well. South Dakota State's done a job with their tackling on the outside. Job with their tackling on the outside.
And Southern no gain, and so it'll be a short gain rather. So it'll be 3rd and 1 from the. We'll take it up the middle. He's got first down and nearly broke it for much more. He did pick up about 6, and so Southern picks up another first down to keep the chains moving. And the Salukis here with an impressive drive. And as we mentioned, Mike, this started back inside their 10.
They've had the ball for over 3.5 minutes as well on this drive. Started at the 7. And they're 1st and 10 now from the 26-yard line.
Daquan Isom back in the game at tailback. Hans Carmine at a fullback. Play action. Isom picked up a block. Strawn out of bounds, gets out of trouble, gets it over to Billy Reed, who gets out of bounds. Another Saluki first down, and Southern's in the red zone.
And that was a situation, Darren, where Strawn probably could have run for 6 or 7, and he took the best route by finding a wide-open receiver on the boundary for a first down.
4.5 left here in the opening quarter. Southern trailing 7-0, but knocking on the door. Strawn over to DJ Davis, who's got a block. It's inside the 10, down to close to the 5-yard line. And you see some of the explosion from the freshman right there.
It's so neat to see both DJ Davis and Daquan Isom, when they catch the ball, they immediately go into a second gear. Watch the replay here if we have time. And we're just going to see it. And Davis now kicks it into gear right there at the 10 and got down close to the 5.
Back to live action. Davis trying to get up the middle. He's stuffed on 2nd and short, so it'll be 3rd and short for Southern here. as it's just inside, looks like just outside the 5-yard line. It'll be Mixon again, right up the middle, twirling into the end zone. Touchdown, Southern. Mixon gets over the goal line, rather, for the touchdown, and the Salukis are an extra point away from tying this up. And
he called that pretty quickly. The linesman on the right side called the touchdown pretty quickly. Not sure if that is one they are going to look at again, but here's the surge right up the gut. Mixon just keeps it moving, easily into the end zone on that replay.
Get into the end zone, and the booth is taking a look at it and allows play to continue, so that's the confirmation of the touchdown. And so Matt Soteriopoulos on for the extra point, and the PAT has been adventurous at times for Southern. And that one is up and good, and we have a tie ball game here at the 3:33 mark here in the first quarter. Let's send it down on the sidelines to Danny Valle. Danny?
Guys, the South Dakota State player that was injured was linebacker Dallas Brown. He took off of the field via cart. He wasn't putting any weight on his left leg. He had a couple of the coaches and trainers helping him to get up, but he was down for a while. I tried to ask what the injury was, but it was too early to tell. Not sure if he's going to come back into this game. We'll just have to wait and see if he does come out in the second half. Guys?
All right, thank you, Danny. And so Southern, after struggling first offensive possession, a very impressive drive, Mike, to answer and tie this thing up.
16 plays, 93 yards, took 5. Keeps churning and then flying over the goal line, and that culminated the 93-yard drive and one of the longest drives of the year for Southern, and they've knotted this game up at 7.
And not only does it net points, but as you mentioned, 5+ minutes off the clock. That's 5+ minutes. That offense in white does not have the football.
And that's very important to try to win that time of possession at home against a team like the Jackrabbits.
And so Austin Johnson will tee it up for Southern. Back deep, Brady Mingarelli and Marquise Lewis. Check that. That's Mikey Daniel.
Mingarelli at the 5.
Mingarelli will bring it out, and he's got some running room, and nice tackle there. As Southern is able to keep him corralled at the 20. He did have some open real estate there, so that probably saved another 10, 15 yards.
And now see if the Saluki defense can contain the quarterback Christian again and try to keep Goddard in some way, shape, or form in front of them.
And this is really how the game started at Cedar Falls. Northern Iowa came out with a couple haymakers. Southern settled things down and really had an opportunity there late in the first half to pull even, but then a disastrous final 3 minutes of the half really did the Salukis in. Christian back to pass. He's going up top for Winicky, and he's got him at midfield. And he's still on his feet as he gets down to Southern's 48-yard line. That was Craig James in coverage, but Jake Winicky doing Jake Winicky things.
Yeah, really nice pitch and catch from Christian to Winicky. And as we'll see, Craig James on the coverage never really looked for the ball, played the man the whole way, and was really almost 2 yards off of Winicky when he caught the ball and then had to struggle to bring him down. All of a sudden, first down inside Saluki territory.
6'4", 215 for Winicky, but with great speed to go with that. That's why he's such a handful to try to cover. Christian back to pass again. Southern with pressure. Can't get to him. Winicky again across the middle. He's got 4 Salukis in pursuit, and Winicky is going to get into the end zone for the 48-yard touchdown as Christian stood in against the pressure and found one of his favorite targets. And just like that, SDSU has regained the lead.
And on the very first series, he overthrew him 3 times. This time, 2 perfect passes to Winicky. And on the coverage for the Salukis, Roman Tatum. And Roman was no match for Winicky. Just like that, the Jackrabbits are up 13-7.
And so Vinatieri on to kick the extra point. Roman Tatum listed at 5'9", and that might be on the generous side, and so he's giving up at least 7 inches when trying to cover Winnicky. The extra point is good as South Dakota State answers Southern's touchdown after the Salukis had a lengthy drive. SDSU made quick work of 80 yards to take the lead. So coming into this one, you had a Jacks team that averages 45 points a game. Southern averages close to 33, so you expected a lot of points, and so far, we're on pace for that.
2 plays, 80 yards, 44 seconds on the drive, Darren. Doesn't take South Dakota State very long, and just a perfect pass to Winnicky there for the 48-yard touchdown, and Roman Tatum just was no match, as we could see there, as the South Dakota State fans who made the trip all the way from their native state to Carbondale, Illinois this evening.
And so far, they've had plenty to cheer about outside of the injury to Dallas Brown. And so Southern will get the ball back. And I guess if there is a silver lining, if you're Southern, it's the fact that the Jackrabbits defense didn't get a lot of rest over there on the sidelines after a 93-yard, 16-play drive.
Got to look for something, right?
And it'll be Davis from the goal line. As he nearly squirts free, brought down at the 22, and that's where Southern will set up camp. And we have a flag back down near the point of kickoff, so you would think that's going to be offsides on the Jackrabbits.
Offside, kicking team, number 17.
And does Nick make them kick it again because they just ran down the field and exerted some energy?
Absolutely, I would. I'd give my home run hitter another chance at it.
I would too. They've already shown that they can't get it out of the end zone, or at least for a touchback.
Southern Illinois has chosen to enforce the 5-yard penalty.
They're just going to take the 5-yard penalty.
That's why we're up here.
Yep.
So it'll be Saluki football.
Or will it? They're running all over the place. No, they're going to.
It looks like they are going to make him re-kick. We couldn't hear our referee tonight. So it looks like Southern will make them re-kick it. Davis and Stanton will go back deep. And DJ has had a great start to his career at Southern, as he is averaging 32 yards at kickoff return, which is in the top 5 in the country. And even without that 98-yarder, he's still averaging 25 at kickoff return.
Yep. See if Koob this time kicks it a little bit differently, if he kicks it higher to try to let his coverage get downfield a little bit better, or if he just tries to boom one to the end zone.
And it looks like it's going to be Davis again, this time at about his 9. Looking for a seam, can't get it. Good coverage there by the Jacks. Southern will still gain 3 yards from the penalty. And so it'll be Saluki football here with 2:34 left in this opening quarter. Really been contrasting styles as Southern marched on a long scoring drive to tie this one up. SDSU with the quick strike to answer. And so now what will Southern do?
And Southern's capable of a quick strike, but more so South Dakota State is.
Strawn looking for somebody, runs out of real estate, and he's out of bounds. They mark him out at the 25. So no gain there. So it'll be 2nd and 10, and that was one of the things that was very positive on that last drive for the Salukis was that first down effort. So it was 2nd and 3rd and very manageable.
In motion.
Varble gets a block there. Isom breaks a tackle, and he steps out of bounds at the 37. First down for the Salukis, and Isom's one of those kind of guys that he gets that one step, and the crowd gets into it because he might be gone.
Yep, and the tight end in motion just laid out for another blocker there, and it was a good block, and then the missed tackle just leads it to the first down.
Isom, some tough yardage there. He's drugged down, or he's still standing. Whistle blows, and it'll be at the 40, so a pickup of 3 on first down as we drop below 2 minutes here. Isom Southern's leading rusher also led the team in receptions coming into this one with 18, so that's with 67 touches in 4 games coming in. I know Southern likes to get him 15 to 20 in that vicinity, and that's Jimmy Jones on the quick swing pass there. Nice gain for the Salukis, and so it'll be now it's 3rd and short, and this is where the playbook is still open.
And coming out of high school, you look at Daquan Isom, and you'd think there's no way he can get 20, 25 touches a ball game, but they say he's one of the toughest and strongest guys at his position on the team.
So it'll be 3rd and 2 from the 45. Strawn looking to pass, needs some help, nearly drugged down, and he'll just throw it away as he's mashed on the sidelines. Good effort there defensively by Mason Leaseth. And so Southern will have to punt here after not being able to convert on 4th and 2.
And it was hard to see who the intended receiver was because everybody initially was covered right away. Everybody else and never could, threw it away, and Southern punts it back to SDSU.
Lane Reason. Nice high punt, and it will be fielded at the 10 with a fair catch, as that's Marquise Lewis. And so the Jackrabbits will take over, but deep in their own territory, as they will start from their own 10-yard line here, up 14-7 here with 1:05 to go in the opening quarter.
2 plays for 80-some yards on the previous possession for SDSU. See what they get going here in the final 1:05 of the first quarter.
So we've seen them with 3 possessions. The first one featured Goddard almost exclusively. We haven't seen him or called his name the last 2 possessions. On the last scoring possession, though, it was all Winicky.
2 passes, touchdown, Winicky.
So Christian calling signals. The sophomore hands it off to Mingarelli, who gets positive yardage, pickup of 5 or a little more than 5, and so it'll be 2nd and I'd like to call a short 5 for the Jacks here, as we have dropped under a minute as we approach 45 seconds here in the opening frame. This Jackrabbits offensive line is massive, as they go average about 6'5" and pushing 300 across the board. They've done a nice job of protecting Christian. He finds Winicky, who gets punished in the middle. That's Cody Kreider finishing him off, but not before a pickup of 5+ for a first down. And so the Jackrabbits move the chains again, and so they will be able to let this quarter wind out if they choose to, and it looks like they're in no hurry to run another play here.
And that was good coverage from Tatum and then with help from Kreider, but again, when you put it right on the numbers, Winicky's not going to miss it, catches it, first down, drive stays alive.
And our first quarter has come to an end. South Dakota State leads Southern Illinois 14-7. We'll be back with your second quarter action here on ESPN3 after these messages.
When you think about college, it's easy to think
doing some of the game prep for this. This is a guy that in high school, very good on track, was part of state championship relay squads, finished 2nd in the 100 in the South Dakota State track and field, but not as much running out of him this year.
On it, but that was previously Christian's 32nd run of the year is all, and because of sacks and stuff, he's only gained 21 yards on the year. And there's Goddard here, and there's the fumble. It went right underneath him, fortunately for Goddard, and was able to fall on top of it. It's 3rd down, and now we'll call it a long 6 for South Dakota State.
That was Kyron Watson, junior from East St. Louis, with the hit that nearly forced the turnover, but Goddard quickly pounced on it. Southern's defense, #1 in the league in 3rd down prevention. We'll see what the Salukis do. Goddard has it, and he is down immediately. Great work there by Aaron Reed and the Salukis will force the Jackrabbits to punt.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better coverage than Reed did there. He knew he had Goddard to the outside, and on him, down from the shoulder pads up, you got to hit him low, and Southern forces the punt.
And you wonder if they're setting Southern up for later on the fake on that, and then the little wheel route with Goddard. We saw it work against Western last week. Of course, everything, just about everything worked for Goddard last week against Western. James will let it bounce, and it takes a big SDSU bounce down to about the 25.5-yard line. And we're going to take this opportunity to go downstairs. Danny Vallier. Danny?
Guys, Saluki safeties coach Marty Rogers was emphatically telling his team one mistake that they were commonly making in that first quarter, and that's where the quarterback was passing and then they were moving down instead of up, so that allowed SDSU to come up with a bigger passing place. He said SIU has to show up instead of down to eliminate that option. Defensive coordinator Craig Paulson was in agreement. Or out, they need to play them in, and above all, the message is step up, step up, step up, guys.
All right, thank you, Danny. Is Josh Strawn up top to Billy Reed as he gets out of bounds for a first down, and Southern starting this drive with some positive momentum here as the Salukis look for the equalizer.
Yeah, nice 11 or 12-yard gain to Billy Reed on first down.
And more laundry on the field, and that is ruled an incomplete pass.
I think there was motion by the Salukis again.
And Billy Reed was like, I saw that flag. I really don't want to take this unnecessary hit here. And so, yeah, it is a false start on Southern. And so it'll be 1st and 15 for the Salukis, the most penalized team in the Valley.
I think that's just their second of the ball game, both false starts. South Dakota State just with the offsides on the one kickoff. So very inconsequential penalties so far in the ball game.
I'm guessing the penalties might have been a point of emphasis throughout the week after the performance at the Unidome.
It seemed like every play last week, when it counted, there was a flag.
So Strawn has his team in 1st and 15. Darrell James in motion. Handoff goes to Isom, and SDSU does a nice job of stringing that out, and so not much there. In fact, a loss of 3. And so now it goes from bad to worse for Southern, and it's 2nd and 18.
Now you need
and it's 2nd and 18.
Now you need you don't need to get 18 on this play, but you'd like to get 8 or 9 or 10 to give yourself a workable third down. This drive started nicely with that 11, 12-yard. Yourself a workable third down. This drive started nicely with that 11, 12-yard gain, and now you're looking at 2nd down and 17 or 18.
And Isom kind of gingerly coming off the sideline, and immediately he's getting attention from the Saluki staff. Little swing pass out to Davis, gets a block from Jones. Davis could go. Oh, a nice saving tackle by Nick Mears. DJ Davis, the beneficiary of another fantastic block from Jimmy Jones as the Salukis pick up the first down.
I said they didn't need 18. Well, they got it. And look at the block right there. Jones springing DJ Davis for that first down.
Cody Heslett didn't know what was coming, and Billy Reed tried to run before he caught that one, and so back-to-back drops for Reed. The first one didn't count because of penalty, but that one does as Isom tries to loosen up over on the Saluki sideline. Was very attentive when 5 kind of limps off the field.
And it's still a little ginger for him putting the full speed on there.
Strawn in trouble, and he tries to squirt free, can't do it, sacked, and so that'll be a loss of 3, and so now Southern facing 3rd and 13.
That time Josh just went the wrong way trying to get out of trouble. If he spins to his left, he's okay, but he goes right into number 99, and Blake Witzel, 6'2", 300 pounds, isn't going to let go and dropped him for the sack on that play.
The sophomore from Bloomfield, Colorado, spending some time in the Saluki backfield. A little pitch to Aaron Stanton. He's got blockers in front, but he'll be brought down at midfield, well short of the first down, and we'll see. It looks like the punting team is coming on here, as it's going to be about 4th and 8 for Southern, and it'll be interesting to see if there might be a little trickery involved here.
Here's the play again, and if Aaron would have taken it to the outside where all the blocking was, maybe he gets closer, but for whatever reason, he elected to kick it back to the inside, and there was nothing there but white shirts.
Reason stands back at his 36. And he will get it away. And Davis comes up with the tackle. So DJ Davis is everywhere for Southern. And South Dakota State again will start with poor field position at the 12 when we come back. Salukis trail the Jackrabbits 14-7. More Valley football headed your way coming up on ESPN3.
How are you? Hi, Beth.
Welcome back to Saluki Stadium as the Salukis trail South Dakota State. 14-7 here, 10:28 remaining in the opening half. As Christian will bring his club up as the handoff goes up the middle for a short gain. And so Southern, who is subbed liberally defensively in this second unit, which a majority of these guys are out there, have done a nice job.
Yeah, very nice job. Craig Paulson getting everybody involved early, I guess, to try to get everybody in the ball game and give them an opportunity to see this South Dakota State University offense, which it is very prolific, and it's now second down and long.
So Christian hands off again, and again it's Wallace as he continues to churn for yardage, and so the Jackrabbits will have 3rd and short here coming up from Southern's 23-yard line or so, as we take another look at the play as Wallace doing some hard running here.
Just keeps his feet churning and then finally goes down.
And so it's Charlie Harris from St. Louis on the tackle.
He's a big play here.
3rd and 1. Christian gives it off. Wallace again. Dakota Upchurch is there, and they're going to whistle it dead at the 25, but that's more than enough for a first down. And so the Jackrabbits with a rare run of runs, 3 straight runs, and that's a first for tonight. And I don't know, I'd be I would hazard a guess there haven't been very many of those runs this season for SDSU.
No, and something tells me that a play action will be coming up shortly with Winicky or Goddard on the receiving end.
That's Goddard in motion as he goes towards the top of your screen, and there it is. But Southern gets pressure. Christian gets away and throws it away. He's outside the pocket, and so no grounding there.
There is no foul or intentional grounding. Quarterback was out of the pocket and threw the ball beyond the line of scrimmage. Second down.
All right, and our thanks to Mr. Whitehat to fill us in there as Christian again with the quick feet able to get away from some trouble.
Yeah, almost brought down for a loss of about 3 or 4, but Christian got away from it, then was outside of the pocket area, and as long as you throw it forward across the line of scrimmage out of bounds, you will never get called for grounding.
Redshirt freshman Rondarian Bell with the pressure there. Again, one of Southern's backups doing work. Christian overthrows his man as Jefferson Villa was the only guy that really had a chance at that, and it was even over his head. And so now it'll be 3rd and long for the Jacks here from their 25 at the 8:39 mark, and this will be a situation that if Southern's defense can get a hold, they should get decent field position.
That was intended for Adam Anderson and just way overthrown. And now they're going to put 2 receivers left and 2 right, so this will be a tough one for the Saluki defense on 3rd and long.
Goddard's in the slot at the bottom of your screen. Christian, rolling to his right, chased, and he'll throw it away again. And again, good work from Kyron Watson as he has been a nice spark plug for this Saluki defense. We've called his name 3 times in the last possession and a half, and so he helps the Dogs force a punt And so SDSU will be kicking, and it'll be Craig James back to receive it for Southern.
Not really the game we thought we were going to see with these two offenses, but that's generally the case when you expect one thing. Something else happens, and both defenses have played very well.
Southern with 10 guys on the line, and they do not come after the punt, and we have somewhat of a shank. And again, SDSU gets a great roll on the punt, and Southern will take over at the 32. When we come back, Southern with a chance to draw even with SDSU. We're back with more Missouri Valley football after these messages. Salukis take over on their own 33 here, 8:22 remaining in the first half, 14-7 South Dakota State. As DJ Davis gets to the outside, and he's run out of bounds at the 41, a pickup of 8 on first down for Davis. As the Salukis here will now have 2nd and 2.
Here it is again in motion. Just handed to him on the jet sweep. Southern's not doing a lot interior offensively, running inside or passing over the middle. Everything has been to the outside.
And Strawn, little flip to Davis. That's good for a first down. Nearly scored it free, but he picks up about 6 or 7, and that's good enough to move the chains. And so DJ Davis getting an expanded role in the offense with Daquan Isom currently sitting on a cooler on the bench down here on Southern sideline. Stanton goes nowhere on first down, and so it'll be 2nd and long for the Salukis as Davis quickly comes right back in. And it looks like just looking at the body language of Daquan Isom, it doesn't look like he's going to be coming back anytime soon.
No, it doesn't. It does not.
Strawn, a little flip to Davis. Nice grabs, got some blockers. Eventually, the Jackrabbits close that down, and so that'll set up 3rd and mid-range for Southern. Looks like about 3rd and 5 here, as we will drop below 7 minutes here by the time Southern snaps it. Davis is in the backfield. Reed and James to the top of your screen. Hans Carmine and Varble both moving. Play clock drops below 10. Strawn sends Varble in motion. He's looking for him, and that's picked off. And then fumbled. Loose ball. Looks like South Dakota State has it. And now they're saying incomplete. Nice catch as Southern dodges a big bullet there as Josh Strawn did not get it high enough over the defender. And you see right there.
Poorly underthrown, and Varvel was open if he just lofts it over that linebacker. But he doesn't. Unfortunately, he missed the play, and Southern is able to punt the ball away instead of giving it to SDSU right where they're about to punt it from.
That was Cody Hazlett on the coverage. So Reason a chance to bury the Jackrabbits again. This one has a chance and it bounces into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And so South Dakota State will start with the ball at their own 20-yard line with 6.5 remaining here. And we've seen some flurries of offense. But then the rest has been the defenses have really taken over, and I don't think that's a storyline you or I thought was going to happen.
5 straight punts since South Dakota State went 80 yards in 2 plays on the 2 passes to Winnicky to go up 14-7. Since that time, every possession has ended in a punt, and South Dakota State now, with 6.5 minutes to go, takes over on the 20, leading by 7.
And I can only recall maybe 1 or 2 passes or efforts to get Goddard the ball since that opening possession where he was the main attraction. And on cue to Goddard on the little flare as he's knocked out of bounds, picked up 5.
And on the tackle
Number
for the
26 has to
Salukis
leave the game for one
was
play
C.J. Jennings,
due to
and
his
his helmet
being
came
off.
off on the play, so he's got to sit out one play.
Gain of 5 yards on the play will place the ball at the Jackrabbit 25. Second
And
5
so
for
the
South
Jacks
Dakota
here with
State.
2nd and 5, and again, it really changes the whole complexion of the play calling when you have that second and mid-range or better, as opposed to second and long. Mingarelli breaking tackles. He'll pick up a first down as he gets across the 30 out to the 31.5 or so. And so as we drop below 6 minutes, South Dakota State gets another first down here.
Chase Allen had him in his grasp at the 27, and that's something that doesn't happen very often when you run out of the tackle of Chase Allen.
3 receivers to the bottom of the screen. Goddard to the top. Mingarelli switches sides. Christian, little flare outside. And it's complete, and a great tackle there by Jefferson Villa, as Adam Anderson had room to maneuver, but Villa shut that down.
Yeah, Villa with a really nice play from his safety spot, coming in and getting out of the way of a tackle or of a block, and then coming in to make the one-on-one tackle. That's a really nice play.
But it was still a gain of 7, and so 2nd and 3 for the Jacks here at the 38-yard line. Southern showing blitz, and Mingarelli actually knocked the ball out of Christian's hands. Southern says that they have it. Do the Stripes agree? No. Looks like Mingarelli may have come up with the ball.
Rolling
That
on
was
the field
a
with a
strange
fumble,
looking
recovered by
play.
See
the
if we can
offense.
see the
Third
scrum
down.
here. He never got the ball. It goes straight down. And I think, yeah, there's Mingarelli right on at number 44. So fortunate to get it back. It's 3rd and a long 6 now for the Jackrabbits from the 35. They have to get almost to the 42.
So Christian will take the snap. Little flare out to Mingarelli. Got a block, but not enough. Great effort there from Malik Haynes, the freshman defensive tackle. 5'11", 336 pounds, and the big fella out shutting this down on the perimeter.
And watch it again from the right side. Shoots in there right there, which held things up a little bit. Then the nice tackle from behind. And we're going to have our 6th straight punt of this football game.
Brady Hale back to punt for SDSU. The last couple have certainly not been pretty, but they have been productive with positive rolls for the Jackrabbits. And that one kicking it away from James, and again another positive bounce, and that one's going to roll dead at about the 20-yard line, and that's where Southern will take over with 3:39 left to go here in the first half. Now coming up at the half, of course, have your highlights and statistics from this opening frame. We'll also have a feature on the SIU men's golf team. Coach Justin Feccio has really got things going for the Maroon guys on the links. Is last year a trip to the NCAA tournament and a very bright future.
Yeah, Justin's done a great job with that golf program and getting some local kids to come on and play and doing well, winning the conference a year ago. And the NCAA tournament, that's everybody's ultimate.
And Billy Reed for a gain of about 5. And this is we talked about last week's game with Northern Iowa. This is the exact
Everything
same
went
scenario.
south, yes.
Southern down a touchdown with about 3 minutes left in the half, and then things went awry. That's an incomplete pass, and so it will be 2nd and 5, or 3rd and 5 rather, for Southern with 3:17, and that drive is certainly one that came up short, and then they ended up having a shanked punt, and it really just spiraled downward from there last
pick
week.
6, and then you just kept going and going and going. You thought the half would never get there.
Strawn in trouble, ducks out away from it. No, he had Reed, but can't connect, and so Southern goes 3 and out, and so Reason will come back on the field to punt. And that possession was not productive whatsoever.
No, and South Dakota State's going to get the ball now, and then they're guaranteed to get it to start the 3rd quarter. So, again, a huge defensive series coming up for the Salukis, trying to keep the ball away from the South Dakota State Jackrabbits.
And Reason just got that one away. It looks like fair catch, and that's going to be a penalty on DJ Davis as he interfered with the returner, Marquise Lewis. And so the flag comes at a very inopportune time as SDSU will have great starting field position after this is sorted out.
And one thing DJ is going to have to learn is when the fair catch is caught for, get away. Just don't go near him. So we'll see whether this is going to be a major one.
Hey, ball. Kick catch interference, kick the team, 15-yard penalty, and spot foul. First down, timeout.
And he barely breathed on him, but he did.
15 yards will put it at the 46, so the Jackrabbits will have it when we come back. You're watching Valley Football on ESPN3.
Faculty and Staff Appreciation Game. Of our students.
Coach John Stiglmeier's South Dakota State Jackrabbits leading Southern Illinois 14-7 here with 3:05 left in the first half. And as Mike said before break, SDSU gets the ball coming out to start the third quarter. So this turns this into a huge possession for Southern's defense.
Yeah, Stiglmeier, 130 and 92 in his career. Between these two head coaches.
All 20 at SDSU, and that's where he went to school. Christian airing it out for Winicky, and he's not going to get him as the ball was underthrown this time, and that allowed James to really get back into the play and save a touchdown.
Yeah, if Christian unloads and leads Winicky at all, it's a touchdown, but he underthrew him just a hair, and he had to turn around, and the ball may have even hit James and not hit Winicky at all in the hand. So they took their long shot down the field. Now it's 2nd and 10.
Winicky with a couple catches. He's been targeted 5 or 6 times, but not been necessarily his fault. The ball's been overthrown and then underthrown that time. Christian again, and he's going up top for Winicky again, and that's going to be pass interference on Southern, it looks like, or that's what you would assume the call to be. Pass interference, and that's going to go against C.J. Jennings, and that looks like it might have been a tough call. We'll see.
Yeah, let's look at it again. We'll see if we can see the end of the play.
Pass interference, defense, number 26.
Wow.
15-yard penalty,
what we couldn't see is where his left hand was, but he certainly didn't push him, so I think that's a tough call there. Automatic first down. It saved what would have been about a 30-yard play to just a 15-yard play. And Northern Iowa did this twice last week on long pass plays that they were beat on. They simply grabbed the Saluki receiver and denied the catch, took the 15 yards, and saved a touchdown twice.
Learn to play another down.
Learn to play another down, yes.
So it'll be first down here from the 39, 2:53 remaining. Christian over the middle, looking for Goddard. It's got him, and he gets free, and he's going to score. Dallas Goddard over the middle, broke a tackle into the end zone. His second score of the night. He scored on a 17-yard touchdown run to open the scoring, and now he scores here on the reception. And SDSU now has a 2-score lead.
And here it is again. Just put it right on the numbers. And there wasn't anybody within striking distance of trying to bring him down. And he is everything we heard he was going to be and then some.
And I don't think it's a stretch or an over-exaggeration to refer to him as a Rob Gronkowski type, especially at this level.
Oh, absolutely at this level.
He's too big for secondary guys. He's too quick for linebackers. And right now, he's got 2 touchdowns tonight and is a big reason why the Jackrabbits have a 14-point lead here in Carbondale.
And that was just a beautiful play. Here it is again, right over the middle. And it was behind him again, but he's got such good hands, and he is so big that the first contact was above the waist. That's not going to bring him down.
And what Nick Hill said in his weekly presser was that these guys make catches in traffic, and we've seen that tonight. And it's not been anything spectacular, but they have they have made difficult catches look very routine.
Yep, 3-play drive, 54 with 2:46 to go. Plenty of time for the Salukis to establish something here. It would really be to their thing here. It would really be to their thing here. It would really be to their best intentions to get something on the board on this drive.
And again, not to hearken too much back to next week, but this was a similar scenario. Unable to close out the first half at the Unidome. We'll see what the offense can get done here. Davis will take it from his 2. He breaks a tackle. He might get outside, and looks like the Jackrabbits get the angle on him, and he is knocked out of bounds at the 41. So a 39-yard return from DJ Davis. And so Southern will have good field position here to start, down 21-7.
And here it is again. He kicks it to the middle, then quickly gets to the outside, breaks the 1 tackle, gets to the edge, and then it was just an angle. If it was Green with a fair race, he's going to win it, but 2 different guys had the angle on it.
5'8", 163 from Pompano Beach, Florida. Young man who's had some tragedy he's had to deal with in his life. His aunt was shot and killed down in Florida a couple weeks ago. Strong gets out of the pocket and then just throws it away. Looked like he might have had a little bit of real estate there, at least to pick up a couple yards, but instead he throws it out.
And as we look downfield that time, only 3 receivers out on the pattern, 8 guys back, or 7 guys back in to block, and they still got to him, got pressure on him. That speaks volumes for that front 7 of SDSU, because it was man-to-man coverage downfield.
And this SDSU defense really struggled the first few weeks. Looked like it really got its feet under last weekend with an impressive performance against Western Illinois. Play clock is headed down below 5. And Strawn gets it off. Pressure again. Strawn this time will run it, and he'll get out of bounds. Pickup of about 6, and so that's going to be bring up 3rd and 4, maybe closer to 5 now as they mark it at the 41. And so 3rd and 5 here, and Southern has really struggled here since that long touchdown drive.
Nobody can get open. There's no openings. That's why all the pass completions have been those swing type passes or very, very quick outs. Nothing between the hash marks.
And Jonathan Mixon in the backfield with no ice and pressure coming. Mixon picks it up. There's Iwema on the crossing pattern. Can he get a block? He does. Darrell James, is it enough to get in? Iwema to the pylon, and they're going to talk about a touchdown. What an effort from Connor Iwema, and Southern, after several series of stagnation, just like that, strikes in a flash.
And it had to be a crossing pattern or something that was going to try to confuse the secondary of SDSU. Watch it here. 3 guys there, and then they all split, and there it is right on the hash. And then it was a foot race, a great block downfield, and then he did get to the pylon, and the officials looked at each other and said, okay, I'll put the arms up.
And so a big answer for Southern, a much-needed answer here with 1:52 remaining.
The previous ruling of a touchdown is under further review.
And so the booth is going to take a look at this and make sure it is a touchdown. But Connor Iwema with a fantastic effort as the Salukis very methodical in their first scoring drive. Big play here is Iwema gets the crossing pattern, and he is off to the races. And we've talked about Jimmy Jones multiple times with blocks downfield. This time it was Darrell James springing his fellow receiver for a touchdown.
Yep, and from that angle it was very hard to see the corner of the end zone where he did either go out or just hit the pylon. The only way we're going to be able to see that is with an angle kind of right on the goal line. And here it is again. It's a different angle, more downfield level, and there's no way we're going to be able to see anything from there as we see the fans rejoicing for the touchdown.
And so what's interesting of note here is it was ruled a touchdown on the field, so it's going to have to be conclusive to overturn it.
Right.
The booth over to our immediate right is taking a look at it.
Former longtime veteran official Paul Valina is one of the members of the replay crew, and Paul's been an official, well, over 30 years, over 40 years, he said, when he came up to talk to us. And we both remember Paul from our earlier days in the Gateway Football Conference when Paul was visiting McAndrew Stadium at the time.
And I'm sure he's glad McAndrew's gone as well.
Yes, he is.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
And review confirms the touchdown, and so Matt Soteriopoulos will come on to try this extra point here with 1:52 remaining and a chance to draw Southern back within 7 as Connor Iwema.
His third touchdown reception of the
Iwema averaging 14 yards a catch for the season. That number will go up thanks to the big play touchdown there. And it's a fake. What a play there as the kicker goes untouched for the 2-point conversion. And the element of surprise working big time for Southern.
Watch it here. It's the old flip it to the kicker right there and wide open on the left sideline.
Untouched, well blocked, well executed by Southern. An interesting call, though, here with 1:52 remaining as the Salukis close within 6 at 21-15 with 1:52 remaining. And now the onus goes back on Southern's defense to come up with a stop. And again, that same scenario we talked about. SDSU will get the ball to start the third quarter. So the Jackrabbits would like to punch one in here, at least get a field goal, and then get the ball back to start the second half.
That was 3 plays, 59 yards for the touchdown. Both teams with very, very quick strikes. We said both were capable. Both have done so twice in the ballgame.
Both have one long drive for scores and then a couple of quick strikes for South Dakota State. Southern with a quick strike. And so now we stand at 21-15 with 1:52 remaining in the opening half. And the kickoff is on the way, and it's going to be Mingarelli. And he is going to be brought down at the 25. And so with all 3 timeouts remaining, Taryn Christian and the Jackrabbits offense will trot back out on the field as we take one more look at the 2-point conversion.
From the end zone, and there's the flip, and look at the size of that hole.
And that was Austin Johnson.
Austin Johnson.
I saw it looked like the 9 and the 7, but Austin Johnson is going to be the guy that gets the 2-pointer. My apologies to Austin and his family that might be watching tonight. Christian, the little swing out to Mingarelli. He's got some real estate. And Whitney Simon brings him down at the 36. Looks like it's going to be just shy of a first down.
Salukis came with a blitz that time, which opened up the entire right side of the field. So it was one-on-one to try to bring Mingarelli down, and a good tackle by Simon on the boundary.
And they do mark it as a first down, and so with 1:40 left, with the clock stopped on the out of bounds, Christian, Goddard's in motion. He'll set up camp towards the bottom of your screen. Pressure coming. Chase Allen was held, no call, and now Christian is loose, and he'll slide down on the other side into Southern territory. And Chase Allen had a beat on Christian, but it looked like might have been some holding, but the Jackrabbits will take advantage here as they're up on the ball quickly. Christian, again feeling pressure, looking. He's got a man, complete, and out of bounds. That's Anderson for the completion.
He's their third leading receiver behind the big 2, Winicky and Goddard.
Redshirt freshman, 6'1", 185 from Orlando, Florida.
They still have all 3 timeouts with 1:20, and they're on the 30.
They've been able to move the ball down the field. As Christian has shown great poise in the pocket. He's only tried running a couple times. The first one was good for a first down there, and then he was able to scramble and buy himself some time here on that last completion. Plenty of time. He's going up top for Goddard again. And it's going to be a touchdown as Jefferson Villa knocked it away, but the ruling on the field is going to be that he had the ball long enough, and the gentleman in stripes
said incomplete.
Are going to have to discuss this, and I suspect it's going to come up to our friends in the booth.
The back judge indicated incomplete.
And there's the completion to Anderson. And now
they're saying incomplete.
After a conference by the officials, they have ruled it incomplete, and so Southern catches a huge break there as
Jefferson on the field is an incomplete pass. Second down.
And here it is again. And he never did have it.
He was juggling it, and Jefferson Villa with a great heads-up play to knock that away, and that saves Southern at least
momentarily. Yes, because Goddard's still on the field.
2nd and 10 with 1:17 to play.
How did that only take 3 seconds?
Southern dialing up some pressure. Christian gets away, and he's going to go up top, and what a great effort by Winicky. And Christian, again, showing great poise and being able to put that on the run where only your guy can catch it. That's a fantastic effort.
It really was, because he also had to almost throw across his body, and he put it right at the edge of the top of the S on Salukis, thinking that's where Winicky was going to be, and he was literally just inches shy of completing that.
So 3rd and 10. Vinatieri, the kicker, his long is 38 yards, so we're not sure what his range is going to be as South Dakota State. Not sure why they're waiting. The clock is not running other than the play clock, but
timeout.
Coach Stig's been at this a long time, and so he calls a timeout, and so they will discuss this 3rd and 10 play with 1:10 left. And when you've got 3 timeouts, you're on the 30, why not use one?
Absolutely. You can't take them with you, as they say, and the thing about South Dakota State is they have so many weapons now that they could go to, and Southern has been bringing pressure the last 4 or 5 plays, which lends itself to man-to-man coverage out there in the field, so to speak, which means man-to-man on Goddard and man-to-man on Winicky, and that spells joy for South Dakota State. So now you wonder if defensive coordinator Paulson kind of mixes things up and says, let's lay back in the zone and see if he can pick us this time and find the right seam, and we'll just go with our regular 4-3.
And that's the gamble with pressure. You got to get there, because if you don't get there, the results can be hazardous to your health. 3rd and 10 from the 30. We expect that South Dakota State would like at least 5 more yards for Vinatieri. His long is 38 on the season. 3rd and 10 from the 30. Christian has it. Pressure coming from the outside. Steps up, completed to Anderson for the first down. And again, Christian standing big in the pocket and delivering a throw.
And just waiting and waiting for Anderson to make his break on Jefferson Villa. Just as he made the break, he delivered the ball for the first down.
Anderson's a pretty good third option.
Yeah, he is.
Christian back to pass again, going up top. And that one is going to be incomplete as Winicky and James were arm wrestling in the end zone.
They really were. There was a lot of contact.
Much more contact than the call earlier on Southern's defensive back. And so with 55 seconds left, the Jacks on Southern 17. And the play clock is dropped down, pushing 5, and now all of a sudden the Jackrabbits are in a hurry. And that's just a curious.
And there's the timeout.
Scenario. They'll go ahead and use
South Dakota
the
State.
timeout.
They're
They
second
stood in
of
the
the half,
huddle for the longest
which will be
time.
30 seconds in
I
length.
thought they were going to use the timeout, but then they go hustling to the line. Maybe they were checking to see if Southern was relaxing, maybe there was just some confusion. Maybe I'm overthinking.
A lot of times that's generally what we do is overthink things. But again, South Dakota State trying to punch one here right before the end of the half because they get the ball to start the third quarter. So it's extremely important for them to try to get another 2-score lead with an opportunity to make it 3 in the opening stages of the third quarter. And the Salukis want nothing more than to force a field goal try here, or, if they can come up with a turnover, come up with a big play defensively.
Ball's at the 17, 2nd and 10, and without as much real estate to cover, is this the opportunity to dial up the pressure and get after Christian?
It could be, but then you're looking at Winky and Goddard both, who can run those patterns to the corner of the end zone and make really, really great catches.
So Christian has it. Upchurch chases him. And the throw wide open. Winicky in the end zone in the middle of the field for the touchdown as the Jackrabbits score from 17 yards out. Christian to Winicky, his second TD of the half. And Sdsu leads 27-15.
Total blown coverage by the Salukis on this one. There's Winicky just coming across and nobody there. Two linebackers were there. That was not Chase Allen's man. It was right there, number 13 for the Salukis, Marquise Jackson. That was his man.
Well, it looked like the double coverage went to the top of the corner of the end zone and left Winicky wide open. And so a breakdown on the Saluki defense means joy to the blue-clad faithful that made the 11-hour trek here to Carbondale as South Dakota State leads Southern 28-15, but Mike, there's still 49 seconds left. As we have seen
timeouts
in this half, that's a lot of time.
And 3 timeouts, and they do have to kick the ball off too. So they've not been able to kick the ball into the end zone where Southern has had to take a knee, and we've seen good returns from DJ Davis twice in this football game. He's been within an eyelash twice of really breaking into a big run. So we'll see what happens here as Stanton and DJ go back towards the goal line.
And so what we have seen is Davis and Stanton, when they go back, they kind of disguise who's going to go what direction. They've mixed it up multiple times. Davis has been the guy that winds up with the football each time so far, and we'll see what happens here as actually, that's not Vinatieri. That's Sam Koob that will kick off for...
He may squib it too, which still gives Southern pretty decent field position.
And there you see in the last second here is Davis and Stanton switch spots, and it's a short high kick, and Southern will call for the fair catch as the Salukis will start at their 27. That's Varble, the tight end. And even though he had a little bit of real estate in front of him, chose to take the fair catch. So Salukis will take over. 49 seconds left. Decent field position, and as you said, Mike, 3 timeouts to work with.
So the first play is going to be the big play for this one. What can they get on first down to at least keep the momentum going offensively, or kind of put yourself behind a little bit of an 8-ball as the half comes screaming to a close?
And it'll be Mixon taking the handoff. Got some room. Cuts up field. It'll be a first down, so the clock will stop while they move the chains. And Southern quickly over the ball.
And because of that, now they're going to really look to score the football.
Strawn's ready to snap it when they blow the whistle. And he'll throw it out. Jimmy Jones gets a block from Lamprakis, and he gets out of bounds. And so Southern, in 2 plays, has gotten into South Dakota State territory down to the 43, and it's taken 13 seconds to do so.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time. They need about 15 more yards to be in field goal range.
And there's to Jones to the other side. Gets a block, and he'll get out of bounds. Another first down for Southern.
And they're in field goal range right now.
They are in field goal range, so the Salukis in 18 seconds have moved the ball approximately 40-some yards and have not used any of their timeouts. So they have all 3 of their timeouts left, which means the middle of the field is still an option here.
Yeah, wide open should be the middle of the field now because South Dakota State doesn't want them to get out of bounds.
Play action. Strawn rolls to his right, goes back to the left. Varble wide open, and it's just overthrown. And Strawn was a little late with the delivery and a little high as well.
Yeah, he was running his fake out, and while he was running that play the way it's supposed to be run, Varble was wide open at the 15-yard line, and by the time Josh saw him, still wide open, just couldn't deliver it in time.
So 26 seconds left. 2nd and 10 as Soteriopoulos is warming up for a potential chance here at 3 at the end of the half. Little lob out to Davis. Can't get a block this time from Iwema, and Southern needs to use one of its 3 timeouts here with 19 seconds left. And the Salukis do, and so it'll be 3rd and 11 from about 3rd and 12, rather, from the 34. And so Southern would like at least a few more yards to make this a little more manageable of a field goal attempt. But when you're facing an offensive juggernaut like this, you'd like to see a little bit more.
And you may go back now to the play that got them the touchdown, that crossing pattern by Iwema. Crossing patterns are the ones that are the toughest to defend for defensive secondaries and linebackers because you've got guys running all over the place. And if Southern can connect here on one of those crossing pattern plays, it opens up the middle of the field. There's plenty of time to either get a first down and get a knee and get a timeout and get another play. The clock's going to stop on a first down anyway. So it'll be interesting to see what they call here on 3rd, and we're going to call it 3rd and 12.
Soteriopoulos is 4 of 4 on the field goals this season, but as long as 37. Austin Johnson has been the guy that they've used in longer field goal situations. He's 1 of 3 with a long of 48. But 3rd and 12, first off. Strawn over to Iwema. Gets a block from James, and he'll get down to the 27 rather. They mark it short. And
timeout. Southern Illinois.
They had to call the timeout because he didn't get out of bounds.
And it's 30 seconds in lane.
Yeah, it is 4th down with 13 seconds left. It's interesting to call the timeout that quickly unless you're going to go for it.
True. Very good point. But I see Austin Johnson already. Well,
I think Austin's lobbying saying, hey, Coach, I'm right here if you're ready for me.
And Strawn's on the sideline, so they're definitely going to kick it. But you're right. Why not just let it run down to 3 or 4 seconds left and then kick it? Much more makeable field goal. It would have been a 51-yarder. Now it's going to be about a 44-yard field goal. 45 probably will be the official call.
So 13 seconds left. Johnson, who's 1 of 3 on the season, as long as 48. And looks like we're going to ice the kicker as
timeout.
Coach Stig uses his final timeout.
Third and final timeout of the half.
Can't take him with you.
Exactly. Might as well use him. And they may be over there saying you got to watch the kicker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make sure he kicks the ball.
And then if you're concentrating on the kicker, then you can leak one of your guys from the end out and complete the pass, right?
The fake 2-point conversion
opens up a
setting up a whole other chapter of the playbook that we've not even turned yet.
There's Austin Johnson going, okay, guys, you think I'm going to kick it? He's chuckling right now. Who knows what they're going to do?
It's like going back lobbying the coach, going, hey, I need to get some more touches here.
Yep. Neidig is the holder.
So 13 seconds left. Johnson sizing up a 45-yard field goal attempt here. A chance to bring Southern back within 10. Kick is on its way, and it is good. Austin Johnson buries a 45-yard field goal for Southern. But there's still 7 seconds.
But not to be outdone, back comes Christian. Statistically speaking.
And it's one of those things where if you're a defensive guy or the defensive coordinators, how frustrating it must be, because for the majority of that half, both defenses played really well.
Yeah, overall, I think so. I mean, in this day and age of football, you've given up a lot of yards. And aside from the 2 long scoring plays by South Dakota State, the 1 long scoring play by the Salukis, these 2 teams have gone kind of toe-to-toe with each other with, forcing 3 and outs, maybe each team getting a first down here or there. But it's been a well-played game, and it's a brand new 30 minutes of football now awaiting both of these teams. We aired earlier indicating that South Dakota State was going to get the ball to start the third quarter. Southern Illinois will get the ball to start the third quarter, as South Dakota State took the opening kickoff and went 75 yards in 10 plays to score on Goddard's 17-yard run. So Southern does have an opportunity to get right back in this football game on the opening possession.
Let's send it down to the field where Danny Valle visited with South Dakota State head coach here. Here's Danny.
Guys, I spoke with South Dakota State head coach John Stiglmeyer before they returned to the field. He said one of the biggest things that has helped him so far is the play of Taryn Christian, who has found his 2 best wide receivers 2 times each for a score. And even though he talked about running the ball effectively, the quarterback play has helped them a lot. And he also said about Southern that you just have to play every play like it's your last. He told me that if I was on the field, would I want to play every play like it's my last? And I just shook my head yes, and that was his message, guys.
I think Danny's ready to go hit somebody. Stig with it. Stig with.
He's going to go play for Stig next year.
With a little pump-up message for Danny. So
first half, Danny was all about the defense getting after it for the Salukis, and now after talking to Coach Stig, he wants to go suit him up for the blue and white.
So we're waiting here as the clock is reset to 15. We're waiting for the special teams to come out for both squads here. Not really sure what the delay is. And Southern will head out as DJ Davis, and looks like Jimmy Jones will be back to return kicks with him.
Wonder what the situation is for Daquan Isom. I'm trying to find him on the sidelines as he went out, late in the first quarter, was it, Darren? With it
looked like
an ankle
or leg injury.
Yep.
He came over, looked like he couldn't loosen up, and he looked very dejected on the bench. Body language looked like he was done, and scanning the sidelines, I don't see
number 5 on offense. I see Chase Allen, number 5 on defense, but I do not see Daquan on the sidelines.
And so Southern loses one of its top playmakers, its top rusher. Coming into the game, he led the team with 18 receptions as well. And just in general, a guy that's a touchdown waiting to happen. And that threat was missing from the offense late in the first half. And you could see it was, at times, tough sledding for the Saluki offense as they didn't have to respect that home run ability that Isom brings.
And we'll see maybe if at halftime they've told DJ Davis, hey, you are going to be Daquan here in the second half. So be prepared for some more touches on offense.
So Coob will kick it off, and we are underway here in the third quarter as Davis tracks it down at his 2. And he is brought down. Good special teams coverage from the Jackrabbits as Davis goes down at the 18. And that's where Southern will start here to open the third quarter. Dogs down 10, and certainly could use a score here to open things up and to not let this one get away.
Strawn again in the first half, 21 out of 29. So a good percentage-wise. Only had one real long pass play. That was the crossing pattern to Iwema for the 53-yard touchdown. But a lot of the passes were swing passes and real quick out patterns. Not a lot open over the middle.
And handoff goes up the middle. Mixon, Southern's leading rusher in the first half. He picks up some nice yardage here on first down, a pickup of about 5. And so Southern will have 2nd and 5. From the 23 as we start here in the third quarter. Salukis trailing it 28-18. Strawn looking, pressure coming, and down he goes as the big fella.
94.
Kellen Sulek, who will get in there and get credit for the sack, and he just bum rushed right up the middle.
I was going to say, there was nothing fancy about what he did coming up the middle, and he grabbed Josh Strawn and threw him to the ground. Watch it, right up the center. Oh, little swim move, and then got by him and just took him down.
And so now it's 3rd and 13 for Southern, a minute into the third quarter. Strawn looking, still looking, runs away from trouble, needs a block, can't get it. And the ball came out loose late, but it'll be down. That's Chris Belster with the tackle. And so Southern will have to punt, and Strawn comes up hobbling.
He took a pretty good shot to the thigh on that tackle.
To the sidelines as Reason comes on to punt.
Watch it here. Watch Balster just clip him right on the thigh, right there. That hurts.
And then you get fallen on by one of your linemen to boot, and that's just adds some insult to injury. And Reason punts it, and not a great punt. And it takes a bad Saluki bounce and then a good Saluki bounce. And so the net is about a 36-yard punt. And so South Dakota State here up 10 with the ball. And the first possession here for the Jackrabbits, as for the Salukis, Josh Strawn being treated on the training table. And looks like they're going to be working on that left leg.
And a not very good opening series on offense for the Salukis. Mixon had a nice first down run, and then the quarterback sack, and then the forced out of the pocket by Strawn, and then they had to punt it away.
So here's Christian, the sophomore who showed remarkable poise. Swings it to Mingarelli. A lot of real estate. Gets by Villa, and he's got a lot of open room. Cuts it back to the middle, and Mingarelli might score. And he is in for the touchdown. 56 yards on the swing pass. And that's Brady Mingarelli for the touchdown. And it took SDSU one play to find the end zone. And suddenly it's 34-18, and Southern might be in trouble.
There was a nice block in the flat that will spring this play. Watch it here. Swings it to the left, and it's that block right there. And then nobody touches him the rest of the way. Good cut back there to the middle. And then it was a foot race, and Mingarelli wins this one into the end zone.
And when he got by Villa, that was the key right there. Is he had to beat the one guy, and then he took care of the rest. And Vinatieri will boot the extra point, and it is 35-18 South Dakota State. And so Southern, which got the field goal to end the first half to cut it to 10, had the ball to start the third quarter but could do nothing with it. And there you see Josh Strawn, who looks to be in some significant pain as the training staff works over his left leg. And so just about as bad a start to the third quarter as Southern could have possibly imagined.
And probably looking at Sam Straub coming in to start this next series for the Salukis on offense. Here's another look at the touchdown play. Here's the swing. There's a block right there that Chase Allen was just cut down, and then a really nice cut back there by Mingarelli. Southern overran the play then, and then Mingarelli just took it into the end zone.
That's Kane Lusher with the big block on Allen, and that
Just
is the first touchdown.
him.
Yeah, that's the first touchdown pass to somebody other than Goddard and Winicky, and it comes to Mingarelli on a rather innocent-looking swing pass to start the third quarter, and it turns into a 56-yard score, and the Salukis find themselves down 17 just 2 minutes and 6 seconds into the second half.
That's 19 touchdown passes on the year. Now for Christian, we're in the fifth game.
And just one interception.
Right.
The nation's leader in passing efficiency, and at times he's been off the mark, but overall he has been as good as advertised. And that's Jimmy Jones getting tackled there about the 21 or 22. Maybe a spot out to the 23, but Southern will start there, and looks like Strawn is still on the sideline, so it will be Sam Straub or maybe DeSomer, depends on what they want to do here. It looks like it is DeSomer here to start this drive. Found it interesting that during that possession, even though it was short, didn't really see Straub down warming up.
No.
Usually that backup quarterback, when it looks like he's going to get in, is down taking snaps and getting loose. But it'll be DeSomer here to start as he hands off to Mixon. And Mixon's hog-tied and taken down after a gain of just about 1, maybe 2. Bobbitt was in on the tackle. Jesse Bobbitt, the senior from Palatine. As South Dakota State here can really just pin its ears back and get after Southern. Up 17 here in the third. DeSomer will keep it. Not much happening up the middle. He squirts out to the 27. Pickup of 3, and that's going to be 3rd and 6 for the Salukis. And really with DeSomer in there, that hampers the play calling because he hasn't shown the ability, or the coaching staff hasn't shown the desire to have him attempt passes when he has been in.
3rd and a long 6.
And we're going to have a penalty flag. Going to stop this one, and it's going to be delay of game on Southern. And so 3rd and 5.
Play game.
Turns into
Offense.
3rd and
5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Turns into 3rd and 10 here. And so exactly not the scenario that running quarterback, what you want to see in this circumstance. And really, it's just all falling apart here for Southern here in the third.
3 receivers out on the left side, 1 to the right.
3rd and 10. DeSomer to Lamprakis. And he cannot escape. And so it's a short gain. And so on 4th and 6, Lane Reason and the punt team coming back out. And so the Salukis will have to give it back to the Jackrabbits, down 17.
Straub is listed number 2 on the depth chart, but it's been DeSomer who's played 2 different times in the ball game today.
And Reason just gets it off. Not a great kick. And he does take a great Southern bounce, though, as it will go dead at about the 27. And that's where South Dakota State will take over when we come back. Jackrabbits lead at 35-18. You're watching Valley Football on ESPN3.
Nobody comes into this house without paying the price.
Not here! Not ever!
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
Nobody comes into this house without paying the price.
Saw Josh Strawn being tended to by the trainers on the sideline. They were focusing on his left ankle, taping his ankle at the moment. That's why he was out in that last SIU possession. Now, Josh Strawn was laying on his back on the padded bed, holding and gripping his face mask as if he were in a lot of pain. And we're not sure if he's going to come back in this game. We'll have to see later on as this game progresses. And also for South Dakota State, their linebacker, Dallas Brown, I talked with John Stiglmeyer, their head coach, before they got back to the field in the second half. They say that he is good to go, but for the most part, you won't see him the rest of this game, according to Coach Stiglmeyer. Guys?
All right, thanks, Danny. We saw Josh testing that leg out here down below, trying to make some moves that he might have to in the game. It looked like he went over and told Coach Hill he was okay, so we'll see Southern's next possession. But defensively, Southern's got to find a way to get a stop here, or this one's going to get out of hand.
Yep, Isaac Wallace there with a carry for about 4 yards, and a touchdown here by South Dakota State, puts them up by 24 points. And it'd be midway through the third quarter. That's a lot of points to recover and get back in the football game. You've got to do it on defense. You're not going to be able to outscore this Jackrabbit team.
Christian gives it off again. Up the middle it goes for Wallace. Minimal gain. And so that'll bring up a third and probably about 4. 3, it looks like. They're going to spot it at the 38. So 3rd and 3 for South Dakota State here. And the Saluki defense needs a stand here. As we are approaching the 5-minute mark here in the third quarter, 5 minutes into the third, South Dakota State leading it by 17 and in SIU territory. Christian barking signals on 3rd and 3. Completed. Again, gets away from one tackler. That's Anderson. Gets inside the 30 down to the 26. And so South Dakota State picking up another first down.
Watch Anderson goes right to the first down marker and turns around. Makes the catch. There's the missed tackle, first down.
And back to live action as Craig James jumped the pattern there, nearly came up with the interception. Good play by James. And Craig Paulson, the Saluki defensive coordinator, with the scowl of a man that's not happy that his squad has given up 35 here in about 2 quarters and 5:25 on the clock. That's Goddard in motion. James will pick him up as he splits out wide to the bottom of your screen. Christian going for Goddard and way overthrown as Christian was decked by Kari Waith-Alexander, and we have not called Waith-Alexander's name. We have not called DeAndre Barnett's name. And that offensive line for South Dakota State, the skill guys get all the credit, but that massive line in front has done a great job of giving Christian plenty of time to throw.
That's the first time all game we've said Christian was down. So there you go.
So 3rd and 10 from the 26. Middle screen to Goddard, and he is loose. Stiff arms and gets all the way down to the 5, and it looks like we have some laundry on the field back at the 21. And it looks like this play is going to be coming back.
They just make such beautiful use of Goddard's athletic ability, whether they're shifting him out like a wide receiver.
Holding. Offense, number 62. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat. 3rd down.
Putting him in the slot formation, just allowing him to make catches in space one-on-one with a linebacker or with a much smaller safety or cornerback gives him so much more of an advantage.
That holding penalty was on Jacob Onasorgi, the center, the junior center for the Jackrabbits, and so now it's 3rd and 10 again from the 26. Christian all day to throw. Good coverage. Chase Allen is in pursuit, and then that pass is out of bounds, intended for Winneke, and so Southern's defense does come up with a stop, and so South Dakota State, and here comes Vinatieri coming in for the field goal attempt as Southern's defense comes up with a much-needed stop.
Yeah, good coverage in the secondary. This is all credit to the secondary. Now, nobody open at all, and they had to scramble just to try to get the pass to Winneke. Good job by the defensive backfield for the Salukis.
James Caesar with great coverage on Winneke, forcing the errant throw. And so Vinatieri will line it up from 43, and it is on the way, and it is no good. And so a win for the Saluki defense as they get the stop and the field goal miss. And so Southern will take over here as they dodge a bit of a bullet here as it's 35-18. And we'll see if Josh Strawn is going to head back onto the field. And it does look like he is going to regain as he limps and gimps his way out. And I would expect to see South Dakota State really dial up the pressure.
Yeah, that was a huge stop defensively for Southern Illinois. Now this becomes an even much more important offensive series as Southern has got to turn the field and attempt to get some points to get back in this football game.
Mixon. And it's up top, going for Billy Reed, and just overthrown. Reed had a step, but Strawn just a bit too strong on the effort, and so it'll be 2nd and 10 for SIU, and immediately Southern taking a shot.
Yep, and Josh got pressured and went down after he threw the ball, and he and Billy Reed just missed connections on Reception.
So Jonathan Mixon in motion out of the backfield. Over the middle, it's Iwema. And Iwema gets first down yardage. Good work from Connor on another crossing pattern, and that seems to be his forte as he scored on a 53-yarder in the first half, and Southern really going hurry up now.
Yeah, it's never too early for the Salukis to speed things up offensively.
And Darrell James unable to come up with that one. Throw was a little high, but I'm guessing James would tell you that he probably should have had that one, and so clock stops at 8:45 here in the third quarter, and Southern will face 2nd and 10 from its 45.
2nd and 10, Salukis from their own 45.
Strawn has it. Now he's in trouble, and big pressure coming up the middle as that's Jared Blum, the senior.
And that was just, again, great coverage in the secondary. They were playing zone back there, cover 2 anyway, and there were nobody in any seam was open, and Josh had to make a quick decision to tuck it away and got sacked for a loss of 1. It's 3rd and 11.
Bloom drugging down for a loss of 1, and so the Salukis need a conversion here to keep the drive alive, down 17 here as we approach the midway point of the third quarter. Strawn's got Jimmy Jones, cuts it back inside, but he's drugged down by Bobbitt, but not before a gain of about 14 or 15, and that was a strong throw from Strawn just on a rope to pick up the first down.
And there it is, just perfect spot inside the seam of the zone that time, and South Dakota State just very comfortable playing that cover 2 defense back
Rolling on the
there.
field as the receiver was pushed out of bounds and came back to establish progress. It's a completed catch. First down.
And there you heard Jones came back inbounds, but he was pushed out by the defender, so you are allowed to come back inbounds and make a catch in that regard.
And Jones in motion there, the toss, and that's an incomplete pass as Southern trying to swing pass to Jimmy Jones.
And again, those look a lot easier than they actually are, because not only do you have to make the catch, but you're anticipating just getting plowed by somebody coming the other way, and that's where sometimes you have to concentrate to make that catch first.
So 2nd and 10 from the Jacks 41. Davis in motion. Pressure coming. Strawn steps up, has room to run, and he'll get down. There's room to run, and he'll get down, and it looks like it'll be enough for a first down, and wasn't the most graceful slide.
I think he's going to be just short.
And they did mark him short. And Strawn will come out.
Here it is again, and if he cuts it back to the left, or he has a lot of room, but he feared for his life, which most quarterbacks should do, and when you've already been out of the game once, and now DeSomer in.
So 3rd and short from the 32. DeSomer keeps it. He'll get the first down as he gets to the 30, and so the drive will continue here. Strawn struggles back to the field.
He's going to be very sore tomorrow morning.
And so Southern from the 30. Strawn, play fake to Mixon. Flips it to Mixon. Spin move inside the 25, down to the 23. And Mixon may have taken one to the helmet there, and that's the trainers immediately sprint out on the field. There is a penalty, but it looked like he took a shot to the head.
I think you're right, and we'll see it. I think we'll see it here on the replay. There's the little shovel right there, and a spin one, and boom, yes, forearm right to the helmet. That was hit there by Kaneen Nelson, a backup quarterback. No, Cody Haslett, the linebacker, sorry. Haslett is the one who delivered that blow, number 12.
And Haslett is playing in place of Brown, the starting linebacker who went out with the injury. And we'll take another look at this. And again, Strawn with craftiness to get it to Mixon, and then Yeah, that might be an ejection.
He went headhunting there.
We'll see. And the game we had earlier this year where we saw Watson for Southern, Kyron Watson get ejected on a play over the middle, and I'm sure the gentleman over here to our right in the replay booth are taking the opportunity to look at this.
And then in our game 2 weeks ago, we thought it was a pretty good football play where he literally hit the guy in the chest. It looked like a good football play, and he was hit for targeting. So you never really know what they're going to look for. I mean, they look for intent.
Right.
And if they feel the intent was to hurt, then that's what happens. The official's about to tell us what's going on.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense, number 7. Penalty is half the distance from the other run. Automatic first down.
Just a personal foul.
And that call was on Jesse Bobbitt, but I'm not sure Bobbitt was involved on that play at all. Unless that was away from the play that we weren't paying attention to, as Mixon is helped off.
Sophomore out of Galesburg. Has been very effective the last 2 years for the Salukis running the football, and he's not Daquan Isom, and he's not going to get you a 75-yard touchdown run, but he's going to get you those meaningful yards, anywhere from 1 to 6 or 7 yards at a clip.
And he's done a nice job blocking in certain circumstances, and he's been a good pass catcher out of the backfield. And so Jones takes it on the jet sweep, and Jimmy Jones is going to get into the end zone from 11 yards out. And the Salukis show some life here in Carbondale. It's 35-24 here with 6:33 left in the third quarter.
And when you call it a jet sweep, you're supposed to look like a jet, and he actually did. Once he got to the corner and turned it up, he just was into the end zone like just amazing. Watch it here, and here he turns it upfield and breaks the tackle and goes into the end zone for the touchdown. 11 yards out by Jimmy Jones.
And DJ Davis got enough of the block on the edge to seal it, so he was able to go in and score. And so Soteriopoulos is in for the extra point, and I'm sure it's Soteriopoulos this time as he knocks that home. And so it's back to a 10-point game with 6:33 left in the third. South Dakota State will be receiving the kickoff when we come back. This is Valley Football on ESPN3. Welcome back to Carbondale as the Salukis showing some life here in the third quarter. Jimmy Jones an 11-yard touchdown as the Dogs pull back within 10. South Dakota State leading at 35-25. Alongside Mike Trude, I'm Darren Kennard. Danny Valle is working the sidelines for us. As you watch Valley Football on ESPN3, and 60 points so far, and we still got a quarter and a half to go, Mike.
And that was a nice 10-play, 69-yard drive by the Salukis. Josh Strawn back in at quarterback and directed the team down the field. Jimmy Jones capped it off with the 11-yard run, and we've got us a ball game again. It's just a 10-point lead for South Dakota State.
And so it'll be up to the Saluki defense to get another stop here as Mingarelli brings it out from the goal line and flags all over the place. And they keep coming in. I see 4 on the field.
You get the feeling that this is going to be a block in the back on the return, but it was nowhere near the return.
There's one at the 16. There was 2 others been picked up along the way. And so now the gentlemen in stripes will get together and
for the Jackrabbits, especially if they take it back at the 16, but looks like they're bringing them all back to the 22.
During the return, holding, receiving team number 31. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
So it's going to take it all the way back to the 12.
And so Southern's defense gets a bit of a break here as South Dakota State backed up. Penalty is on Eric Kleinschmidt, sophomore from Nebraska.
Mixon getting helped down on the field. They're, I think, doing a little of the concussion protocol to find out Jonathan's condition down there on the sideline.
We also see Josh Strawn on the exercise bike as he tries to stay loose here. As it's been a very physical game, and that has been a trait of Coach Stiglmeier's teams. Not dirty at all. This has just always been a very physical bunch when you play them. Absolutely.
And it's amazing. This team used to feature running with Zach Renner, and now they feature that quarterback who's just a sophomore and has 2 more years to dazzle the Missouri Valley Football Conference.
And we touched on this earlier. 34 players on the offensive depth chart that they listed, and only 6 of them are seniors. And then the main guys that we keep calling the names of, Christian, Mingarelli, Winnicky, Goddard, those guys are all underclassmen, sophomores and juniors. And so opposing defenses in the Missouri Valley, defensive coordinators are going to be up a long time worrying about these guys for the next at least 2 years.
And Stiglmeier, we talked about his longevity as a head coach. Here the team is backed up, starting on their 12-yard line. He doesn't come out and wing it down the field. He knows he's got a good defense. He's going to try to gut out a first down to try to get the field position changed a little bit before he opens.
Christian, 5 receivers. Goddard on the swing. And Southern does a great job of stringing this out, and he is pushed out of bounds well short of the first down. And so the Salukis get a 3 and out, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered for a team that's trying to get back into this.
And there's that conservatism from the head coach. Let's not try to do too much. We don't turn the ball over. We're going to trust our defense. There's still a whole quarter and 5.5 minutes to play. Each team's going to get at least 3 or 4 more possessions. Let's not force things here.
And so Southern has 2 guys back. Craig James is deep, and Billy Reed is standing at the 50. And this punt, Reed will call for a fair catch, and so Southern made the adjustment as the punting has been a little suspect from Brady Hale, but he's gotten some great rolls, but not this time as Reed calls the fair catch. And so Southern will have the ball when we come back. 5:15 left in the third. Salukis down 10. This is the Valley on ESPN3. SIU football at midfield. The Salukis trying to cut into this 10-point deficit. South Dakota State, the 12th ranked team in the country, leads it 35-25. And some trickery. Kyle Newquist up top to Israel Lamprakis. What a catch by the senior as he hauls it in, I believe with one arm at the 13-yard line. And the small crowd in Carbondale gives Lamprakis a hand, and Southern's quickly up on the ball.
I'll tell you what, that didn't fool the defensive back at all. It was just a great catch.
Davis takes it down to the 10, and that was Kyle Newquist on the swing pass, and then he threw a perfect strike.
Here it is again, and look, perfect pass, and great catch by Israel Lamprakis. The defensive back on the play was Micaiah Slade, who was maybe a step behind, but he caught up on the pass, and Lamprakis had to make a great catch.
You can't fault the coverage.
No.
And so Southern a chance here down at the 11, 2nd and 9. Strawn keeps it, looking over the middle, and it's just too far for Varble as Strawn overthrew it. He wanted to release it about a half second earlier, and he had to double clutch, and so that ended up costing the Salukis a chance at a touchdown.
I think his eyes got a little bit bigger, and he was open and just flat missed him. And it's going to be 3rd down. They can get a first down at the 3-yard line. Any kind of points here are going to be meaningful points.
Down at the 11, 3rd and 8. 4:23 left in the third. Southern trailing by 10. Strawn to Jimmy Jones. Gets free. Jones is into the end zone. His second 11-yard touchdown of the quarter. And the Salukis have cut it to 4 at 35-31.
It's such a simple play. And the defense probably even knows that it's probably coming, but the execution was brilliant. Good blocking by Reed and Lamprakis, and then Jones just has to beat one guy to get to the end zone, and that's the beauty of those swing passes.
And you hear coaches say all the time, win the one-on-one battles. Jimmy won that one, and it ends up with a touchdown. And big kudos to his receiving mates as they got the blocks to springing him. And the extra point from Soteriopoulos is good. And just like that, Southern with 2 touchdowns. It's 35-32 here with 4:18 left. And Mike, that didn't take long for Southern to get back in this. It looked like the Salukis might be toast. You've got guys on the offensive side of the ball. Your quarterback, your running backs are hurt, and all of a sudden you look up, and here's Jones making the play as he gets his 2nd touchdown of the quarter, and the Salukis are right back in this thing.
4 plays, 50 yards, 57 seconds, and as we talked about 2 series ago, if Southern gives up a touchdown when they're trailing 35-18, it makes it 42-18 and probably can't come back. And now they're back within 3 after 2 quick scores and a good defensive stand.
The Salukis have run 67 plays, and we still have 4 minutes and 18 seconds left in the third
quarter.
South Dakota State, 54 plays. The 2 teams have combined for 827 yards so far. But then when we looked at this coming in, the 2 teams combined were scoring 77 points and putting up about 800, 900 yards of offense. So this has lived up to the billing of the offensive shootout that we thought it would be.
And don't forget, on the last kickoff, the illegal block in the back on the return is what set up that entire 3 and out.
And Mingarelli will take it at the goal line. And he is just crushed by Corey Kreider, sending his regards to Mingarelli. And Southern is a fired-up sideline for good reason, as Mingarelli has done a nice job in the return game, but Corey Kreider sent him down right there.
Just popped him in the chest, and down went Mingarelli, and it's 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line.
And once again, South Dakota State not with great field position here, and it'll be interesting to see if they open things back up or whether they stay conservative.
It seems like anytime they've wanted to open it up, they score a touchdown.
So Christian directing traffic. That's Goddard spreading out wide the bottom of your screen. Christian going the other way, and that ball is loose. And they're going to say incomplete on a great hit from Southern. And that is C.J. Jennings laying the hammer and causing the incompletion on the pass attempt to Anderson. And that was nearly a big turnover for Southern.
Timed it perfectly. Contact with the ball, contact with the body. And he just split him in 2, and it's 2nd and 10.
And so this Saluki defense, again, getting good play from the 2nd unit. Jennings is a backup. He's playing for Roman Tatum. Christian going up top, looking for Winicky, and he nearly hauls it in. No flags on the play. And so great coverage there by Craig James as the 2 jostled for position here right in front of the Saluki bench.
And right in front of the official. I admire that pushing and shoving going on right there, and the official just said, nope, you both were attacking each other at the exact same time. No advantage, no disadvantage. 3rd and 10. So that's a gutsy call.
A little easier to make on Southern sidelines.
Yes, yes.
In that circumstance.
But we've certainly seen it a lot of times get the flag.
So Christian pressured, and down he goes. Big time sack for Southern. That's Devontae Lee. And the Salukis hold again, and Southern will get the ball back, and the Dogs should get it in good position as the Salukis finally get to the quarterback.
And that was just 4-man rush that time. Nobody blitzed, just the 4 down linemen took care of business up front. And it's 4th down and 16, and Southern's going to get the ball inside South Dakota State's 50-yard line again.
And again, 2 guys back. Billy Reed setting up camp at about the 41. This one goes over Reed's head. James will get it and can't make the first guy miss.
He had to make me look silly, didn't he?
And Southern still will get good field position here to start with a chance to tie or take the lead. Well, here's a look at the upcoming Saluki schedule. It's brought to you by Carbondale Tourism, and of course, next week it's on the road at Illinois State. The Redbirds picked to finish towards the top of the league, but they're struggling. Indiana State comes here in 2 weeks. Gauntlet weekend.
3, 6, 9, 12 wins, 5 losses in the last 4 teams. I mean, that's some really, really good competition in the MVSC.
And of course, South Dakota, even though that graphic shows 1 and 3, they beat Northern Iowa today. So that's no big deal for them, but it's a big deal for South Dakota State as Billy Reed had the ball go right through his arms, and it's an interception. Jordan Brown comes up with the ball, and what a momentum turner that is. Southern with great field position and a chance to go tie or take the lead.
And watch Reed here, bottom of your screen. It goes right through his hands, right into the hands of the defensive back, Jordan Brown, for the interception.
And so a turn of events here is it's the first turnover of the game, and it comes at a horrible time for Southern as the Salukis had all the momentum working in their favor, but now South Dakota State takes over at midfield, up 3 with 3:09 to play in the third.
All kinds of shifting by the Saluki defensive line.
And Christian avoids Upchurch, and he will sprint out of bounds. And he's able to pick up a couple as Dakota Upchurch thought he had him, and Christian, showing that elusiveness, is able to make a positive out of what could have been much worse.
But it's nice to see just the 4 down linemen now getting 2 and 3 yards into the backfield, where earlier in the ball game they weren't getting anywhere at all. And that South Dakota State line is huge.
So it'll be 2nd and 7 from the 47. Christian has Mingarelli to his right. Back to pass, steps up, flush from the pocket, and he tried to turn the corner and couldn't do it as Kyron Watson with a nice job, and that's probably the first questionable decision we've seen from Christian. All he had to do was just pitch it out of bounds.
Yep.
And he wouldn't have had the grounding, but instead he ends up taking a sack.
He saw Winicky, and he thought if he could just get him near the ball, he'd have a chance to make the catch. But a great play by Watson, and it's 3rd and 12, so maybe Southern can get out of this turnover with no damage.
Watson has had a strong game off the bench for the Salukis. Goddard in motion. He's at the top. Christian stepping up, and the pass is to Goddard, but excellent job defensively from Southern as Ryan Neal comes up with the tackle immediately as they brought Goddard all the way across the field, but he was not able to shake Neal this time, and so the defense holds.
And Neal right there, again, hit him low, takes him down, and it's 4th down and about 8. So the interception only hurts in you're losing incredible field position.
And Neal learned from the first half when he tried to just knock on Goddard and it didn't work. And so Reed back to field the punt, and it will be down and then into the end zone, and that's going to be a touchback. Southern catches a break there, and so it will be SIU football at the 20-yard line. And again, Southern has a chance to tie or take the lead here, down 35-32 with 1:10 to go in the third.
And Craig Paulson must have done a really good job on the sidelines even with adjusting that 4-man front to get pressure now when they weren't getting in the first half, bringing 7 and 8 guys into the backfield. So they're working that magic defensively, and now it's up to Strawn and company to try to march it 80 yards to take the lead in the ballgame.
Swing pass to Davis. Not much happening there. In
Not
fact,
when you lose 4.
Loss of 3 as throw was a little behind Davis, and he couldn't really get going. And so not a good start to this drive for Southern, as it's now 2nd and long as we drop under a minute to go in the third. Strawn pressured, has some running room, and he'll get out to about the 25 or so. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 25, so that's going to set up 3rd and 5 for Southern.
Doesn't have to run a play if he doesn't want to.
And we'll see if they do run it. It will be the 70th play of the game in 3 quarters. Strawn throws it complete to Lamprakis. That's good for a first down, as Josh Strawn it looked like everything was caving in on him.
Yep.
And he's the coolest man on the field, is just kind of biding his time. Found Lamprakis for the first down, and so it will be Saluki ball at the 32 when we come back to start the 4th quarter. South Dakota State leads at 35-32. This is the Valley on ESPN3.
Is this my car? State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up.
Shut up!
That's why State Farm is there.
What a day.
That's why State Farm is there.
What a day.
With car insurance for when things go wrong.
What a day!
But also here with car loans to help life go right. Go right. State Farm.
When you think about college, it's easy to think of it like a building. Long hallways, aisles of books, a place where you're going to carve out your future. But when you get there, you realize you're not the only one. It's people meeting people, learning from each other and growing together. It's not always about knowing exactly where you're headed. Sometimes it's about finding your way. We go to college for the education. What we take away is the experience. Experience SIU.
True wood-fired Neapolitan pizza. Only at Fat Bottom Betty's in Carbondale. You just gotta fold it.
Open up your arms and feel the sunlight on your skin. Cross your fingers, it won't leave you. That this feeling never ends.
How do you describe the indescribable? Only Carbondale.
Stands as we start the 4th quarter. Southern making a nice run to end the 3rd. It looked bleak after the start of the first 2 or 3 possessions of the 3rd. Southern fell first. The first 2 or 3 possessions of the 3rd, Southern fell behind by 7 turns. We have a ball game here.
With an entire quarter to go, both quarterbacks have thrown the ball over 40 times.
Strawn up top for Varble. What a catch by the freshman. And he's wrestled out of bounds at the 39.
Play right there, right over the top for the catch, and a first down well inside Sdsu territory at the 40.
Strawn hands it off. Davis got crushed, and he spins out to about the 36. They'll give him 4. And so Southern already short Jonathan Mixon, who's sitting on the training table. Daquan Isom has not come out
He went out in the first quarter and did not come back after halftime. At least we haven't been able to see him. He certainly hasn't played. Strawn quickly to Davis. Can't catch it. And it's ruled incomplete. And the one thing is, on those plays, it's always so close to being a lateral.
The officials are so liberal with giving them the forward pass, I think, don't you?
I agree.
In watching replays and things like that, that about 9 times out of 10, they're going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say, okay, your arm was coming forward. But a lot of times it looks like that lateral, which is a free ball.
And it looks like Cameron Walter is checked in along with Davis. Southern with 3 wideouts. 3rd and 6. Strawn going for it all. Jimmy Jones. Oh, he had it and dropped it. Jimmy Jones nearly had his 3rd touchdown of the game.
Boy, he wants that one back, doesn't he, Darren? Ooh, right.
Coverage. It looked like Jones pushed off to get open here. And then right through his hands, and would have been a tough catch, but it did hit him in the hands. Another great throw, and so Austin Johnson, the long-range kicker for Southern, is out to attempt.
54.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to spot at the 43, so a 53-yarder for Johnson. He's 2 of 4 on the season. And it's blocked. And nobody from SDSU goes near it, so the Jackrabbits will take over. And that's the danger when you have the long field goal attempt. To try to get the distance, they generally come out a little lower, and they're more susceptible to being blocked.
Yep, and that one never had a chance from the moment it left the foot of Austin Johnson. And that kind of ruins field position as well. If you're there, that's a long field goal, would have been probably his longest. And, you know, who knows?
So we're going to send it down to Danny Valle on the sidelines.
Guys, I'm right here in the Saluki Stadium stands with a bunch of Saluki fans right behind me, as right now the Salukis are gaining confidence on the football field. 35-32 right now. They tried to get for that 54-yard field goal, didn't help, but Southern, their confidence is growing, and right now they're making sure that their defense stays on par with South Dakota State. Guys?
Christian going up top for Winicky, and what a fantastic catch by Jake Winicky, the All-American, as he is well over 100 yards receiving for the day. And that's a big gain for South Dakota State. Their first really positive offensive play in quite a while.
And who do you rely on when you have to? You rely on Winicky and you rely on Goddard and your quarterback. So I feel this drive is going to feature a lot of those 3.
So Christian has it. He snaps the ball. South Dakota State at the 48. Pressure comes. More pressure as Christian will slide down as it's a pickup of 5. And just really impressed with this young man at quarterback.
Just a sophomore.
Just a sophomore, and he just makes good decisions, and he gets out and he runs, and the smart quarterbacks get down before they can hit you. And he's done a nice job of sliding without costing his team yardage, and so just very impressed with Mr. Christian. Handoff. It's Wallace, and he sheds a tackle, and he will pick up a first down as Southern had a chance to stop him for no gain, but Wallace with a strong run here, and we'll see. They do indeed give him the first down as the chains move here as we approach the 12:30 mark here in the 4th quarter. And South Dakota State is inside the 40 of Southern and knocking on the door.
Salukis had 2 straight chances with the football and came up empty on both of them, still trailing by 3 with approaching 12 minutes to go.
Christian on the play fake. Pressured, now he has time, he unloads up top for Winicky in the end zone, knocked away by Roman Tatum. Excellent defense by Tatum as Christian tried to thread it into double coverage, and Southern up to the task.
That was really nice coverage by Tatum with help from the safety as well. Roman step for step and overcomes the safety as well, and Roman up over the top, tipped it out of the end zone.
And doing so with the club.
Yeah, and Ryan Neal also there to help.
Tatum suffered a broken bone in his hand on the very first play of the game at Florida Atlantic, and so he's been playing with that club for a while. Goddard at 6'5", 250. You're not supposed to be running like that, are you, Mike?
So nice moves there.
The big fella with a spin move, and he's able to get a first down for his club as the chains move and the clock continues to move. And
this guy's going to play on Sundays, folks. You're going to remember the name Dallas Goedert.
And we've seen some tight ends in this league go. We've had one here in Michael Pruitt, who's with the Vikings now.
Damon Jones years ago played with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Some good tight ends in the Valley.
Goddard is at the top of the list right now. Christian over the middle. Winicky. No, it's not Winicky. Touchdown. And that one goes to Alex Wild. And that's a 28-yard score. And with all the attention that Winicky and Goddard get, Wild is free on the post. And that touchdown pushes it back to a 9-point lead at 41-32.
And you can only hold the Jackrabbits down so long, and beautiful pass and one-on-one coverage. James Beaton for the touchdown.
And so Vinatieri comes in for the point after this to push the lead back to 10. And he boots it through, and so after the Salukis had multiple chances to take the lead or to tie it, they came up empty, and then South Dakota State answers by marching the field, and it's Wild with the touchdown, his first catch of the night, and it's a big one, a 27-yarder for a score.
And he was so open that the throw was behind him. He still had the ability to go up, make the catch, come down, and take it into the end zone for the touchdown. It's the 5th touchdown pass of the ball game for Mr. Christian.
28 of 46, 415 yards. He equals his career high of 5 TDs, which he set last week. So it's been a pretty good 2 weeks for Mr. Christian. 10 touchdowns, and there's still 11-18 left in this one. So he may not be through producing this evening. Jimmy Jones, DJ Davis back deep to receive this kickoff. Southern back down 10. Salukis have done a great job to get back in it. But then finally the Jackrabbits offense able to put together a quality drive and punctuate it with the touchdown. And this will be a pooch kick, and again Varble will call for the fair catch, and the Salukis will take over at the 25, trailing by 10 here with 11:18 to go.
And that interception really hurts because Southern had the ball at midfield right after they stopped South Dakota State to try to go back in, trailing just 35-32. And the very first play, a pass right to Billy Reed, goes right through his hands. It was intercepted, and even though South Dakota didn't score or do anything, it totally changed the field position. And then South Dakota State just went on a 64-yard drive to regain the 10-point advantage.
Cameron Walter for 3 up the middle. And I think the other part of that equation is just that South Dakota State's defense was on its heels. Southern had scored twice, and immediately they get the ball back. Great field position. If they've been able to run that field again, I mean, who knows how this one plays out the rest of the quarter. Walter again up the middle as he takes it out to about the 32. So it'll be 3rd and 3 here. Important drive for Southern. Have to come up with some points on this one. Down 10 with 10:40 and counting in Carbondale.
And the missed attempt on the very long field goal, they could have punted it and pinned them back inside the 10. Or if Jimmy Jones catches that pass for the touchdown, it's a whole different scenario.
A lot of ifs here in the second half. Completion to Billy Reed.
Right at the 35 for a first down.
And he was defended on the play by Christian Rosaboom. And so enough for Reed to pick up that first down. So the chains move. Clock continues to run as we approach 10 minutes. Strawn back to pass. Looking up top. Has Reed. And Billy Reed hauls it in, and he's out of bounds, and they're going to mark him out at the 34. Big gain for Southern, and the Salukis are in business here.
And I don't know what the original play was, but as soon as Josh saw the corner come up onto Billy Reed, I believe he just said, beat him one-on-one and I'll get it to you, and he did.
And he did just that. Anthony Washington on the coverage. Strawn going up top, wide open. Connor Iwema makes one guy miss, but then is brought down at the 3. And so Southern knocking on the door again as the points in offense continue to pile up here in Carbondale.
And two Jackrabbits ran into each other, busted coverage again, and watch the two Jackrabbits on the spin here right there hit each other, and one of them is still down on the field as Southern gets it inside the 5 and knocking at the door again.
And Jonathan Mixon is checked back in for Southern, so that's good news.
That's good news. And that's Christian Roseboom, who's going to have to come out at least for this play. He's the one who collided with his own teammate inside the 5 on that last play, attempting to make the tackle on Iwema after he kind of jitterbugged out of the way and they ran into each other.
So it'll be Saluki football here as the Dogs have marched right down the field here with very little time off the clock here. Still 9:45 remaining in the fourth quarter. Southern trailing by 10. Inside the 5, you know that Nick Hill and company want to punch in this touchdown.
You get this football game.
We talked off air before we started that it would take at least 40 to win, and I'm not sure that 50 is going to be enough. And Nick Hill is upset with the fact that they've not allowed the players to go. Southern was up ready to go, and I don't know if South Dakota State has called timeout or not, but Coach Stegelmeyer is out on the field, and he is...
Nobody's happy right now.
We have got some upset puppies here right now.
And there's Nick. He's still pleading his case with the official. There's Stegelmeyer pleading his case with the official. It doesn't look like the 40-second play clock ever started. Nick's pointing. Stegelmeyer's
Nick is
happy.
like, look, I know I've only coached 4 games, but why are there 3 guys over talking to him and nobody talking to me? Stegelmeyer's not done. He wants some more. We've got,
and the official never did say timeout South Dakota State, did he? He just kind of blew the play
dead. Not to my knowledge, and I'm not sure what's going on.
All right, you ready? San Diego or South Dakota State has been charged their second timeout, the 30-second timeout.
And so that may be what
Stegelmeyer was not happy with.
Upset with is that they were charged for the timeout.
And I don't know if they had a 12th man on the field. And, you know, you can't sneak him off anymore.
And he is still giving it to the...
Well, that could be a very valuable timeout. Even though he just used his willy-nilly in the first half because, you know, they took timeouts just to ice the kicker. So he's still trying to plead his case. I thought it was only a 30-second timeout, and we should already be starting the next series here.
And so Salukis are checking on Connor Iwema, who's with the trainer right now. They wanted to bring him in. And it looks like he is going to stay put on the sidelines for the moment. Jimmy Jones, the touchdown maker, is in. He is at the bottom of your screen. Up top, Kyle Newquist, Jonathan Mixon, also into the game, Hans Carmine. Jones will take it, and it's back to Newquist. Newquist looks like he wants to throw it, and he throws it away. And so Southern with a little trickery here on first down, unsuccessful, and no time ran off the clock.
You're exactly right. And now the official realizes that. I think he's coming in to talk with the referee. That, let's see, it was at 9:45 when we started. And then remember at the end of the first half on the kickoff, Only 4 seconds ran off instead of 7.
The clock did not run during that play. Please set the game clock to 9:39.
And so they have chosen 9:39 for that play. They've taken 6 seconds, and so it'll be Southern 2nd and 3. Mixon behind Carmine in the eye. Strawn gives it to Mixon, and he is undercut, falls forward. They're going to mark him at the 1, so it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 1.
I think Dalton Cox, number 53, is the one who kind of get underneath everybody and just tripped him up.
And quickly up under center, Mixon, and he continues to plow in, and Mixon is in for the touchdown. As great second effort from Mixon, and Southern is back within 4 with a chance to get it to 3.
Wow, just a nice push by that offensive line, and Mixon just never stops churning once he takes the handoff. Watch it here. Pushes and pushes and pushes, and a little push from behind, and again, he's well over that goal line, and Southern is back within an extra point of a field goal of tying this game. They're going to look at this one up top again, and again, the ruling on the field was a touchdown, so there has to be significant reason not to credit Jonathan Mixon with a touchdown.
As we see Mixon over on the sidelines, looks like the trainers are wanting to keep an eye on him as Aaron Stanton walking with him. On that play, Nick Farina had a chance to stop Mixon, had a clean shot on him, but Mixon able to stay with the play. As we take one more look at it, Farina's number 24, right there. Yep. He had him, and then Mixon just doing a nice job of contorting the body, as you said, keeping the legs churning. Looks like he was able to get in, as they are looking to confirm that in the replay booth, just to the booth to the right of us. And so we wait as this game that seems to have lasted forever. We are at 3 hours and 22 minutes, still 9:18 left. Let's take this chance to go down to Danny on the sidelines.
Darren, Mike, a huge whirlwind of emotions on both sides of the sideline. SIU, like I said before, their confidence is growing, and right now they're only down single digits. Meanwhile, head coach for South Dakota State, John Stiegelmeier, was upset because they took away that 30-second timeout, and to the reaction of the fans, I believe that score stood as a touchdown.
All right, thank you, Danny. The replay did confirm Mixon's touchdown, as Soteriopoulos comes in for the extra point. A chance to get his club back within 3 with 9:18 remaining, as the Salukis hanging around here against the 12th ranked Jackrabbits. And the kick is up, and it is good, and so it's 42-39 here with 9:18 remaining. Southern will kick it off to South Dakota State when we come back. Got a barn burner in Carbondale tonight, folks. Be sure to come back for the end of it. You're watching The Valley on ESPN3. South Dakota State leading SIU 42-39, 9:18 to play here in Carbondale. This one has been a doozy, and we knew that these two offenses were stout. They have lived up to the accolades that have been given them. The two teams have combined for 148 plays and more than 1,000 yards tonight.
815 through the air.
And the return there, and that is Mingarelli brought down, and so South Dakota State will take over.
The most passing yards for a Saluki team in a game is 444 back in 1999 at Indiana State. Tonight, they're at 400 right now. I'm thinking that record's going to fall.
That could be in jeopardy. And, of course,
Total plays as well. It could get there.
Josh Strawn is accounted for 358 of those, and that puts him at 7,000 for his career, counting his time at Stillman College before coming to Southern as a graduate transfer. Handoff up the middle, and it bounces outside is Wallace, and he gets a big gain up to midfield. He's going to be marked out at Southern's 48-yard line, a pickup of 25. And you don't expect that out of the running game of the Jacks.
And just not even a missed tackle, just very good blocking. And this is where South Dakota State gets very dangerous. It's a wide open field now. They're at midfield. It opens up all of their weaponry for their quarterback and their wide receivers to play havoc with the Saluki secondary.
Christian will take the snap here as Goddard comes in motion. Clock drops under 8:40. Christian, quick swing pass out in the flat. It's to Lewis, and he is brought down at the 46. They give him 2.
Villa with a really nice trip up there at the line of scrimmage, and he hurt his left hand in doing so, and he's going to have to come out of the game. I don't know if he hit his knee or what happened, but Jefferson Villa's got to come out. You're going to see it again right there. It clipped him, and that hurt his left wrist.
Christian keeps it, overthrows Winicky, and so now the clock stops. 3rd and 8.
Big play here on 3rd down.
And Villa is one of Southern's most valued defensive guys, and training staff has been busy tonight. This has been a very physical game on both sides.
They bring in an extra defensive back on 3rd down and 8.
Everybody get up! On your feet!
And so Christian barking orders here. 3rd and 8 from the 46. Swing pass out to Wallace. Tries to make Reed miss, and that's not happening. Aaron Reed with a great open field tackle, and that's going to send the punting unit on for South Dakota State as the Southern defense comes up big.
That's a huge play by Reed. And Southern's going to get the ball back. 7.5 minutes left to go in this football game. Clock is rolling, as you can see on your screen. And it's going to come down to a final possession or 2 for one of these ball clubs.
Craig James back at his 10 to receive the punt. And it gets away as Hale had it. And it does get into the end zone as Southern catches a break there. And so the Salukis will start at the 20 with 7:18 to play. And Southern has had 3 different opportunities to tie or take the lead here in the second half. The first 2 possessions were not quality possessions, and we'll see what the third one here offers up.
Exactly, and they're starting from the deepest point as well from all 3 of those starting positions when they had an opportunity to either tie it with a field goal or take the lead with a touchdown. So let's see what the coaching staff drums up for this particular drive. Again, they're literally 44 yards away passing from setting an all-time mark for a single game with 440 yards. 445 would beat the old record.
Strong up top. He's got his man Billy Reed. First down, knocked out of bounds, pickup of 12. Good start to the drive. And the Salukis pick up the first down as they move the chains here to the 32. Southern quickly up under center. Cameron Walter and Hans Carmine in the I formation. And it'll be Walter. And he's stopped for a short gain, pickup of 2. So it'll be 2nd and 8 here.
And you're thinking at some point this defensive line from South Dakota State is going to wear down. And here we are with just under 7 minutes to go, and Southern still struggling to do anything running on the inside.
So Strawn has guys where he wants them. 3 to the top. Swing pass out to Iwema. Breaks one tackle and just a short pickup out to the 35, a gain of 1. And so that's going to set up 3rd and 7 here as we will approach the 6-minute mark by the time this next snap goes off. Jimmy Jones is going to come in. Varble checks out.
And they are struggling to get this play in.
And so Jones, Iwema, Reed, and Lamprakis in the game. Play clock drops below 10. Haven't said that often. Strawn looking. Pressure coming, and down he goes.
And there's that big guy, number 94, Sulek, 6'5", 320-pound junior. Just swallowed up Josh Strawn here. Watch, just again a bull rush and just nowhere to go.
I think Sulek is some sort of dialect for mountain, because that dude is enormous. And so Southern's got a punt here. Clock approaching 5 minutes. Reason bobbled the snap. It does get it away. One of his better punts of the day, and it chases the returner, Marquise Lewis, out the sidelines. And so Southern's defense is going to have to come up with at least one more stop here. 5:08 remaining. Jackrabbits 42, Salukis 39. We'll finish this up here in Carbondale on ESPN3. .508 remaining here at Saluki Stadium. 5:08 left in regulation. I'll just throw that out.
Sure, why not?
South Dakota State leading Southern 42-39. The two teams have combined for more than 1,040 yards. South Dakota State has the ball, up 3, needing a couple first downs to try to run the clock off. Southern needs to stop. Christian airing it out for Winnick. He's got his man! And out of bounds as Winnick doing his thing as he beats Roman Tatum on the fly pattern, and South Dakota State in business once again.
You live and die by man-to-man coverage. Tate and Winnick, and it's just a perfectly thrown ball. Winnick over the shoulder catch. Tate nowhere near him. First down inside the 20-yard line.
At the 17, and so Southern has to hold this to a field goal, you would think, to have a chance here.
46-yard pass reception.
And that puts Winnick over 160 yards on the day. 6 catches. Handoff, Mangarelli plows his way down to the 12. Pick up a 5 on first down. And when you look at Southern's lineup, you see guys, a lot of backups in there, especially the linebacking core. All 3, Corey Kreider, Kyron Watson, and Aaron Reed, guys that not starters. And so critical defensive series, and those guys have played really well at times tonight. We've called Watson's name quite a bit. Reed's made a couple of big plays on third down. And there's Goddard with a handoff. Not happening this time. Watson on cue with the big stuff. And so that'll make it 3rd and about 12. That's a loss of 7. And so Southern comes up with a big stop there. Now can they finish it?
And if you can hold them to a field goal attempt here, you've won this battle. And there's a great individual play by Watson.
Goddard with his first 2 carries of his career, we believe. The first one went for a touchdown on the opening drive. That one did not catch anybody sleeping, as Kyron Watson from East St. Louis coming up with the big stop. Empty backfield for Christian. Caught, but well short of the first down. And so that's Connor Landberg with the reception, but he doesn't even get back to the original, well, barely made it back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th down And so Vinatieri will come on for the field goal attempt.
That's a huge win for the Saluki defense after giving up 46 yards on one play and getting South Dakota State inside the red zone, and then to go 3 and out and force them to a field goal try of 33 yards. That's a win.
Vinatieri missed his last attempt. That was from 43, as long as 38 on the season. He's 4 of 6. And that one is on the way, and that one is straight through for the nephew of Colts kicker Adam Vinatieri. He boots it through, and so South Dakota State has a 6-point lead, but Southern will get the ball back with a chance to perhaps win it here in Carbondale. We'll be back with the finish. You're watching Valley Football on ESPN3. .45 for South Dakota State, the 12th ranked team in the country. 39 for SIU. The Jackrabbits getting ready to kick it off. Jimmy Jones and DJ Davis back deep for the Salukis, who appear to will have at least one opportunity here to potentially pull off the upset.
This return can really set the tone for this drive as well.
And they're not going to give Davis a chance as they kick it to Varble once again, and once again it's a fair catch, and the Salukis will start at the 20. And so the Dogs will need to cover 80 yards here in 2:15. They do have all 3 of their timeouts left.
South Dakota State used 2 of theirs, so if it comes down to a last possession for the Jackrabbits, they're going to have to be even more efficient than normal, because I'm sure Stiegelmeier hasn't used 2 timeouts in the second half for a long time.
Cameron Walter is in the backfield with Josh Strawn. Remember, Daquan Isom went out in the first half. We have not seen him since. Jonathan Mixon has had some injury troubles as well, as Strawn short on the delivery to Billy Reed.
Kind of threw off his back foot that time, didn't get anything on that throw. Would have been good for about a 5 or 6 yard gain, which would have been a really nice way to set up second down, but now it's 2nd and 10.
Davis has checked in. 3 wide receiver set. Strawn pressured, looking to run, and he is going to get out of bounds with a dive. That'll stop the clock. But it'll be 3rd down and about 6, it looks like, as they mark it at the 23.
Walter comes back in. I'm assuming it's going to be for an extra blocker in the backfield.
Clock is running as we've dropped under 2 minutes. Strawn pressured, has some room, looking to get rid of it, and he ends up throwing it away. And we have a late flag, and we'll see what that call is. Looks like it's going to be holding on South Dakota State, and that's going to keep the drive alive for Southern if it is indeed on the Jackrabbits.
It's an automatic first down if it's against the Jackrabbits.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 9. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic, first down.
Jordan Brown, who made the big interception at midfield against Billy Reed, called for holding on that play.
You see it right there at the 30-yard line on Lampracus. He was draped all over him. South Dakota State was arguing that it was not catchable, but you heard our referee say that it was before the throw, which makes it a holding call. And so Southern gets a first down. Strawn going up top, and it's nearly intercepted. Should have been intercepted by Cody Hazlett. And I'm not sure. You talk about Jimmy Jones will be seeing that touchdown all night. I think Mr. Hazlett will be seeing that one all night, as Josh Strawn, indecisive in the pocket and then made a mistake. And fortunately for Southern, they will have another opportunity.
Yeah, looking for Billy Reed in the middle of 3 white shirts.
2nd and 10. Walter in motion. Inside goes to Varble. down to about the 42.
Look at him fight for
Looks like
close to first down yardage. He's just shy.
And it depends on which referee they go with, and it looks like they're about a half yard short. Minute 23 remaining. Clock is running. 3rd and 1. Strawn in trouble and sacked.
And you had 3 timeouts, Darren, with 1:29 to go. You needed 1 yard, and they went with a quick pass play. And now it's 4th down and a long way to go.
Timeout. Southern Illinois.
And now you have to go for it with 1:09 to go.
Should be 30 seconds
That
late.
was probably a time when you've got to call a timeout. You've got 3.
Yeah, you've got 3, and especially you're down to 1:20 left. And 3rd and 1, unless you have that automatic quick play call, and you wonder if they were going to take a shot. If they were trying to take the shot deep, but it turned around to backfire, and so now you do have to use the timeout, but more importantly, it's 4th down and 8. Ball is on the 35-yard line.
Yeah, whole different scenario there, where if you take the timeout, then you've got an opportunity to get another fullback in the ball game and get that. It wasn't even a full yard. It was a football away from a first down.
And first down is what's critical at that point, and you could understand getting up there quickly if you're going to hit like a quick hitter on a run. So tough situation the Dogs have put themselves in here. 4th and 8.
And now you've got to get the pass to the first down. You can't count on a run after
Strawn.
the catch.
Pressure's on the way, and Strawn is going down. And the big sack coming from Cole Langer. And that will probably do it. Southern has 2 timeouts left with 1:04. So barring some sort of miracle finish, the South Dakota State defense coming up big in a game that's featured 84 points and 1,100 yards. It's 2 defensive stands by the Jackrabbits that are going to be the difference in this ballgame.
And Langer just ran right by Podzelinski. And Nick Hill's going to see that 3rd down and 1 in his sleep tonight when they should have called a timeout. And South Dakota State just needs to run a couple of plays. Nick can stop the clock 2 more times, but it's kind of inconsequential now.
Mangarelli takes it down to the 20. Southern.
Timeout. Southern Illinois. Their 2nd of the half. This will be 30 seconds in length.
South Dakota State heads to North Dakota State next week. Something tells me they won't be able to score with as much ease against the Bison. And I know what a rivalry game that is between those 2 states. And then the Salukis go to Illinois State.
And there you see South Dakota State. They opened with Western Illinois last week. They come here to SIU and then back on the road. North Dakota State, Youngstown State. You see they end up closing with a road trip to Northern Iowa. So they have quite the schedule in front of them, but you can say that for everybody the way this league stacks up. But a trip to the Fargo Dome would be, well, first of all, you're not going to get in. But if you did want to go, that will be the game of the week in really all of the FCS football level. Is North Dakota State #1 team in the country. South Dakota State likely will crack the top 10 and should be quite the matchup in the Fargo Dome.
Especially North Dakota State put it on Missouri State today 27-3 after Missouri State took a 3-0 lead. And there's a first down run, so that will lock it up for the Jackrabbits.
And that Southern will go ahead and use that final timeout with 50 seconds left, but all South Dakota State will have to do now is to take the
timeout. Southern Illinois,
the victory knee.
Their 3rd and final timeout of the half.
And the offense just couldn't come through in 3 different possessions, trailing by 3, 3, and 6 to get it in for that winning score, whether it be at the time a field goal to tie it or here on this last possession, a touchdown to tie it and then take the lead. And they had great position at the 50-yard line on one of those possessions. And then on the very first pass play, Josh Strawn's pass went right through Billy Reed's hands, and it was intercepted by Jordan Brown. And that kind of killed that. It did kill that rally and led to a bad field exchange for the two teams.
That was Southern's only turnover on the day, as Christian takes a knee here, and he'll have to do that one more time here, as South Dakota State is going to pick up what is considered gold in this conference, a road win at Southern Illinois, as the Salukis put up quite a fight, down 35-18 in the third quarter, and it looked pretty bleak. They were able to get back to it, and as Mike said, multiple possessions. They could have tied or taken the lead, but just could not do it, as South Dakota State will hold on and pick up the win. The Jackrabbits improved to 3-2, 2-0 in the Missouri Valley. The Salukis fall to 2-3. They are 0-2 in Missouri Valley play, as the Jackrabbits, behind a big, impressive performance from their quarterback, Christian, who throws 5 touchdowns for the second straight week, and then also the weapons that he has to deal with. Weineke with 164 yards on 6 catches and 2 scores. Goddard had a touchdown receiving, 12 catches, 108 yards, also had a touchdown rushing. They were as good as advertised offensively.
Yeah, and I'm really impressed with Christian, the quarterback, just a sophomore. Incredible poise, great pocket presence, never panics, runs when he needs to, goes down when he needs to, rarely forces a ball when it doesn't need to be forced. Did it maybe one time tonight, but really, really a great quarterback for just being a sophomore. And when you've got the receiver core that he has and the huge offensive line that's going to protect you, the world is your oyster.
All right, our Danny Vallier is down on the field with our player of the game. Danny?
Darren, I'm here with winning quarterback from South Dakota State, Taryn Christian. And Taryn, it felt like a Wild West shootout here in the cold. You guys went back and forth, but how did you guys manage to stay a step ahead of Southern?
Really just keeping our foot on the gas. That's what we pride ourselves on offense. When our defense is struggling, we got their back, and they know that we consider any game, no matter what the opponent's scoring, if we don't score more, that's a failure on us. So we just, as an offense, kept our foot on the gas, and defense came up when it was important, so it was a good win for us.
Favorite wrestler of mine used to say, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. Next week, you guys go into the Fargo Dome, or you guys face North Dakota State. How much of that momentum do you guys have to use to possibly get a win against one of the best teams in the nation?
It's great to get 2 Missouri Valley wins right to start off conference play. I mean, all the momentum you can get is great, but every week you got to bring your best. And to be the best, you got to beat the best here. So,
all right, thanks. Enjoy the win. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Guys, they're the fireworks.
All right. Thanks, Danny. We had plenty of fireworks tonight beforehand and now fireworks afterwards. For Michael Trude and Danny Vallier, I'm Darren Kennard saying so long from Carbondale, where the final South Dakota State, the 12th ranked team in the country, goes on the road to beat Southern Illinois 45-39. Be sure to watch our next telecast of SIU football next Saturday, the 15th, when the Salukis head to Illinois State, 6 o'clock. It will be your kickoff in Bloomington. To watch this